Hello, hello, hello.
Attention, attention.
Welcome back to our podcast, ThreadTalk podcast, episode 63.
You had to think about that for a second?
No, I had to look at it.
Oh, okay.
This episode is titled Cause for Concern. Some of these stories are a little bit concerning.
Very concerning. Like, should I be concerned? I originally had this one titled as Should I Be Concerned? And of course, Teresa came in, clickety clack, typing away on her keyboard. Cause for Concern is now the new title. If you ever are wondering about our relationship dynamics, that pretty much lays it out there for you.
I overrule everything.
I make suggestions. I do the groundwork. I lay it out. Teresa comes in, fine tunes it, makes sure that it's right and appropriate, and bada boom, bada bing, we're good to go.
I think it works.
Oh, I'm down for it. I love it. I love you, so we're good.
Oh, thanks, honey.
We have some. We had a Q&A question that we'll get to at the end of the episode. That they asked how we met. So
Yes.
we're gonna dive into that and give you guys a little tidbit at the end. If you guys are new, welcome for joining us. How we rotate it is Teresa's got 7 stories. I've got 7 stories. We'll go back and forth. We're blind reaction to another. At the end, we go through a Q&A segment. So if you have any questions, you drop in the comments and we'll read it on future episodes. We'll get into some life updates. I got a nice house building life update. We're making progress. Mm-hmm. And other than that, yeah, let's just get into the stories.
All right.
Who wants to go first?
Me.
Oh, we're not going to rock, paper, scissors this
No,
time?
you can go. You can
No,
go.
let's rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Rock, paper, scissors. I feel like you cheated.
No.
Like you didn't end up going.
No, I
so you
didn't.
just ended up
I
being
won.
rocks to my scissors. Okay.
All right.
If you were on YouTube, you saw. If you're on Spotify, yeah, Teresa won.
All right. This one comes from relationship advice. Quote, "We listen and we don't judge" trend prompted my 24 female husband, 38 male, to reveal a cruel 2-year-long prank. How can I learn to start trusting him again?
Okay. I need to say something before we get into this episode because the last episode we had a rabbit bunny poop prank.
Yes.
And now we're going off for a 2-year prank. No. And trusting him. And then also age gap here.
14 years.
Bro, we're at 5. I thought we had a big age gap. 14 years. That's too much for me, but okay. Let's get into your story.
Maybe we should listen and not judge.
Maybe we should listen and not judge. All right, here we go. I am listening. I am ready to not judge.
Okay. My husband saw TikTok videos this week about couples saying we listen and we don't judge, then revealing something bad or funny they do behind their partner's back. He pressured me to participate because he said he had something very funny to admit, but I had to go first to justify his. When it was his turn, he told me he removed things from my computer to make it very slow and almost unusable. 2 years ago. In 2022, my computer suddenly started running like garbage, and I could never figure out what was wrong. I primarily used it for school and playing online games with my siblings because I don't live close to them anymore. Now I can hardly browse the internet, let alone play games on it. I couldn't afford a new computer because only I am working right now. He told me it would take him only a minute or two to fix whatever it is he did, but he just never wanted to. When I asked him why he would do that, he said it's because I should spend all my time with him, and he didn't like that I would play games a few times a week. My feelings are very hurt right now, and I'm having a hard time believing anything he says now. How can I get my mind off this and stop distrusting him? We have been married for 6 years, and I'm so stressed about what other things he might have done to manipulate me. How do people generally get over betrayals of trust like this? We've been married for 6 years, so she was 18.
I want to vomit, and it has nothing to do with the computer prank. I want to vomit about everything else. The part where she says what other things he might have done to manipulate you. Bro, he's been manipulating you since the time that you met him.
Since the day you met.
What was this, an arranged marriage? Like, I'm so confused because in order for you to get married for 6 years, you were 24, you were getting married at 18. Did you meet when you were 17, 16? Or did you literally get put into an arranged marriage when you were 18 and your parents were just signing you off to, at that time, a 32-year-old? Like that.
Oh my God.
Honestly, I I will never be someone to be okay with huge age gaps like this. And if there are huge age gaps like this, and it's like I am 38 and he is 52 and we've been married for 6 years.
I think that's fine.
That's fine for me.
Because it does make a difference because you are more mature. At 24, even especially at 18, but even at 24, like you are still like not really fully developed. Like
and
you can still be easily manipulated. I don't know.
100%. And the part where she's like, I'm the only one working, he's not even working right now.
Yeah.
Is kind of sad.
It is sad.
I feel like
there's a lot going on here.
I might have like this weird shape of reality, but like if you are the older person in a relationship with this big of an age gap, I feel like you should be financially secure.
You should be
like
more down your career path where you like have advanced.
Yeah. Like the younger
further.
person should be able to rely on you because you should be stable financially.
Exactly.
And the fact that you're a piece of shit and you're not like she's taking care of you and then you go ahead and mess with her stuff. I'm so icked out right now.
Yeah. Obviously, like we're generalizing, like sometimes like big age gaps can work out and sometimes it's not like the older person is being manipulative, but I feel like generally it is kind of like sick.
Maybe like more times than not when there are issues.
Exactly. Like because of this story, like we can tell he is manipulating you.
Yeah.
In this one instance.
I don't know anything about computers, and I don't know how I could go onto your computer and like slow your computer down and then just come back in a few clickety clackities and it's back to normal. Like you deleted, and what did he delete and what is he bringing back? Maybe a computer person can answer that. Maybe you can't do that on Macs. I mean, doesn't Apple do that automatically to our stuff anyway? So we have to buy something new. But like, I just can't get over the fact that like he wanted her to spend more time with him.
Yeah.
That would be like you like going in and messing with my
with
PlayStation so that we didn't spend enough time together.
Yeah.
But I feel like in a healthy relationship, such as ours, we have balance.
And we communicate. If something's bothering us, like
you've told me before, like, hey, you've been playing a little bit too much lately. Can we have us time? Can we hang out together? So the other night we were playing video games together.
We were. I don't think we've talked about that.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
I bought a
What's
video
it
game.
called?
It Takes Two. I think it's called It Takes Two.
It's stressful for me.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
I get worked up. But it's fun.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more with our life updates. We'll come back to that. But yeah, for this, I mean, I'm seeing so many things wrong. I'm seeing the age gap is wrong. The fact that he's been doing it for 2 years. He's like, oh, you could have fixed it anytime.
Yeah.
I just never wanted to. Just so many. And
she probably... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, the fact that he brought this up because of a TikTok trend.
A trend, yeah.
That, to me, once again, says you're an idiot. The fact that you wanted to do something in your relationship to reveal that you've been a bad person and it was your idea to do it, and the inspiration that you got came from a TikTok trend. Yeah. This is another one of the secret TikTok trends. This TikTok trend is like the one where the woman gets woken up at 2 a.m. to make food for her husband. It's a TikTok trap. It's a trap to convince people
to show all your toxicity
and let the other person see it for reality.
Yeah.
Except
he was the one, it was his idea this time.
But that's what I mean. It's a trap for him.
Yeah.
He got convinced by TikTok to do this.
Yeah.
To reveal his messed upness.
Crazy. Top comment. This is extreme manipulation, not a prank. Also, it is disturbing behavior from a man 14 years older and who you are currently supporting. He doesn't respect you. You don't need to learn to trust him. He doesn't deserve it at this point.
Oh my, okay.
Also, sorry. She probably voiced like her concern to him, like, oh my god, my computer sucks. I just can't afford a new one. And he probably was just like, oh yeah, that sucks. Like,
yeah, bro, this is messed up. This her comments on the post.
Oh, I haven't seen them.
Oh my god, this is so messed up. Okay, I can't really tell what she's replying to, but some of her replies to people says, this one got downvoted. We waited until I was 18 to start dating, but got married pretty fast after that. he would have groomed her.
Yeah.
If you have to
100%.
if you have to say we waited until I was 18, that means that you were in conversations. You were basically emotionally dating before,
Yes.
and you just held off to officially date till you're 18.
Yeah, so it's legal.
That's grooming.
That's grooming.
That's grooming.
He hasn't had a job since 2009. He has PTSD from losing his job because of the recession. He doesn't want to apply for jobs right now because he doesn't want to experience trauma from being rejected. His parents pay for half of expenses and I pay for the other half. I'm so triggered. This is so sad.
There's another one. She says, I know my post paints a very limited picture, but he's hot AF.
Okay, is this real?
That's no
now
reason.
I'm like...
Bro, her other side. So the TikTok trend, she had to go first. Mine was that I avoid using paper towels when the roll is almost done because I don't feel like going to the pantry to get a new roll. That's funny.
That is funny. I have seen like ones like that on TikTok that are like, yeah, you know, sometimes I'm lazy about this and I like pretend to be ignorant. Like, that's funny.
Exactly.
But
what other stuff is he manipulating?
Wow.
I think before we move on, we should do a we listen and we don't judge trend.
Oh.
We should do that.
Okay.
I will admit something now.
Okay.
And you cannot judge me for it.
Okay.
I need to think about it. So for you, it will seem like seconds. For us, it's going to be about 5 minutes.
I already have mine.
All right, you could go first.
Okay. Then. I have sometimes like seen puke from the cats in the middle of the night and I leave it.
That's rude. That is rude. Oh, I'm always the one cleaning it up. I'm always cleaning it up. I will say though, that's been a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think they puked in like a year.
In a while, yeah.
It's been...
Luna used to get like hairballs a lot.
Yeah. And so all those times you would have seen
all.
It? Oh,
like,
okay.
I think it happened at least once.
Okay. I mean, I probably did the same thing, I think, once
Yeah,
too.
I don't know.
Okay.
Are you judging me?
Oh, I already judged you.
You shouldn't be.
I'm trying to think of something.
The whole point is to not judge. We listen and we don't judge.
I listened. Okay, what do I got? The other day, you had bubblies containers on the nightstand beside the couch, and I almost went and cleared them off. But then I thought to myself, how long will she leave this here for? So then I didn't clean them off. So, but then they got cleaned up like a couple hours later. So
yeah, I remember you made a comment.
But there's 3 of them. I did make a comment. I was like, holy,
you said, wow,
bubbly.
You had a lot of bubblies last night.
Yeah. So my thing is, you will empty your bubbly, put it on the coffee, the nightstand beside the couch, and then you'll go back to the fridge. You'll get another bubbly, and you'll put your new bubbly beside your old bubbly. And sometimes when I want to drink, I pick up the old can first, and I have to go for the new can. I have to wait. I have to check to see if the bubbly container has any bubbly in it, to see if I can, because probably 7 out of 10 times I pick up a bubbly container and it's empty. Mm-hmm. You have an issue of not putting your bubblies in the container, and me, I notice it, and instead of cleaning up after you, I leave them
to teach me a lesson.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm judging.
You can't.
Just kidding.
You can't judge me too much because I clean up all your other stuff.
You do. You're really great about that.
Like I clean up your teacups,
yes.
Your plates if you get a snack at work or all day and stuff. I do a lot of cleaning.
I'm not judging. Don't worry.
Okay.
That was kind of lame.
I have to think if I have anything
That's
worse.
Fine. If it comes to you.
But I'm not a piece of shit.
I mean, facts.
I feel like this trend is a trap for people to admit how much of a piece of shit they are to their partners.
Yeah.
I feel like if you need to make a trend for this video and it's not comically laughing, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, that's true. All right, let's just move on.
Back over to me. Over to me.
We have been using our Quip electric toothbrush and water flosser for the last few months now and have noticed a huge difference and improvement in our dental hygiene routine.
I gotta say, the 360 oscillating toothbrush head has been revolutionary for me. I can just feel it on my teeth. They just feel 10 times cleaner after every brush. And the travel water flosser, Teresa used to have this like big bulky thing that takes up the whole cabinet space or the counter space and just dead ugly. This thing, nice, convenient, storage friendly. I'm liking it.
One of my favorite things about the oscillating toothbrush is that it has like a pressure sensor, and I am one where I tend to like push hard when I'm brushing my teeth, and my dentist has even said you have to stop because my gums were receding from pushing too hard. And now it's just way easier to monitor with the toothbrush because it will actually beep and it'll turn red if you're pushing too hard. So it helps me monitor that pressure. Accepted by the American Dental Association, Quip 360 is scientifically proven to remove up to 11 times more plaque than a manual toothbrush. It is also proven that they provide up to 2 times more whitening in just 1 day of usage.
When you do love it, you'll be brushing easy knowing that you're covered by the lifetime warranty that Quip provides. And with the possibility to subscribe to Quip's program of just getting your refills sent out to you every 3 months, it's just ultra convenient.
Just for you, the ThreadTalk listeners, you will get 20% off site-wide and a free travel case and countertop stand at getquip.com/threadtalk. That's getquip.com/threadtalk.
So free your mouth today and save 20% site-wide. Plus a free travel case and countertop stand at getquip.com. QUIP.com/threadtalk.
getquip.com/threadtalk.
That travel case is going to be coming in extra bonus for our Italy trip this year. So as soon as I saw the travel case coming out of the box, I was like thinking of our wedding. I was like, this is going to be perfect.
It is perfect.
We no longer will have to put our toothbrushes in sandwich bags. Yeah. All right. Thanks for supporting our sponsors. Now back to the stories. This one's coming from Best Redditor Updates. My girlfriend is threatening to break up with me over a prank that I pulled on her and her family.
Another prank. We should have named this episode Pranks.
Pranks are us.
Pranks are... I like it.
Gotcha.
Wait, we should do an episode like that.
Should I move this story to the next episode for pranks?
No.
Okay. This past weekend was a big camping trip that my girlfriend, 23 female, would be taking with her and her family. It would consist of her, her parents, her younger sister, her aunt, uncle, and her 3 cousins, and it was a big family trip that was planned for cooler weather. My girlfriend told me, 24 male, all about where they would be camping, and I decided to take advantage of that knowledge. I visited my girlfriend's house to say goodbye to her, wished her a fun trip, and when they all took off in their cars, I got in my car and I drove to the campsite that they would be staying at. I know the area pretty well, and I was able to find a spot to hide my car from view and was able to navigate the woods and keep an eye on them while remaining hidden from view. When it came to nighttime, I put on a Chewbacca costume and ruffled it up a little to make it like wild and untamed. While the family was gathering around the campfire, I started to rustle the bushes. The family noticed, but they didn't think much of it. Then I started to make growling noises. The family was getting noticeably freaked out, and then my girlfriend's uncle started to walk towards where I was hiding. As soon as he got close enough, I jumped out from behind the bushes and started making roaring noises while running around acting like Bigfoot. I shook their tents, threw lawn chairs around, and chased after some of the cousins. I heard my girlfriend's dad yell, "Get the gun!" And that's when I knew I had to end the prank. I took off the costume, revealed myself, and the entire family was pissed. Long story short, I got yelled at by almost all of her family, and the noise attracted the campsite manager, who kicked me out after hearing what happened. Today, I heard back from my girlfriend for the first time since the prank, and she said that she's seriously considering breaking up with me. She just said that she needs some time to think about it and that she'll let me know when she's made her decision. Now, I'm just left wondering what to do. I'm thinking I need to pull off a major apology and need some advice on what to say to save this relationship.
Damn. Okay, my first thought was, you're going to get shot.
Right? That was my first
Like-
thought too. I'm like, wait, is this American campers or Canadian campers? Canadian campers will be okay, but someone in America is going to have a gun for safety.
In Canada, you'll get sprayed with bear mace.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right?
At least. But like still, like it's risky to do something like this.
Yep.
Like, you're going to get hurt. Like you could have.
Good prank or bad prank?
You know, I actually don't hate this one. I feel like it is kind of a harmless.
On the surface, I don't hate it as well. Like it depends on who you're pulling the prank to, but it's kind of funny. Maybe not.
Maybe if it was like with her friends.
Right? I was going to
instead of her
say,
family.
maybe if it wasn't family.
Yeah.
And or like friends, or like if this was a guy's weekend, I feel like one person pulling a prank on like a guy's weekend camping trip, I could definitely see this prank being well received.
Yeah.
By a group of drunk guys.
Crowd.
You know your audience, yeah. Family members, young kids, maybe not the best.
It also is kind of weird that he like wasn't invited to this thing. It's not like he was there and he snuck off and then put the suit on. He wasn't invited and he showed up and like followed them. Like what if they were like talking about him? You know what I mean? Like what if they were talking about like family secrets or something and he like.
But what if they had like a cult tradition where they were sacrificing someone on their camping trip and he witnessed it?
What the
That's
heck?
a plot for a movie. But like what you were saying though, if he was like invited to it and then he's like, "Oh no, I can't come." And then pulled the prank. And I was like, "Oh guys, it's just me showing up, surprising you. Like I said I couldn't come as like a prank, but like he was invited." Or even he was invited and he's like, "Oh, I've got something to do, but I'll come up at a later date." Like they were expecting him at some point. And then when he shows up in the Chewbacca outfit, scares everybody. And it's like, "Oh no, don't worry guys, I'm here." I could see that being a kind of well-received prank a bit. Like if you're joining and they know you're coming at some point, and then you show up a little bit early and you give them a little Chewbacca scare. I could be on board with that.
We are kind of reaching with this opinion because they didn't say anything about
He could have been invited.
about them not liking it because he was there. But I feel like that would be what could be concerning for me. But the prank itself,
I could get on board with this. I could see myself doing this.
I could see myself also getting upset. Like if you did it to my family and my family was pissed, I would be pissed too.
Yeah.
Like
I could see myself doing this if I was expected to show up at some point and I just showed up a little bit early and I pulled this prank. I don't think I could see myself doing this of tailgating them, driving them up there and completely like not even supposed to be there at any relevance of I wouldn't do that myself. But if someone pitched the idea of like, "Hey, we're going on a camping trip," somebody said you should do the Chewbacca prank, I could see myself strapping the Chewbacca costume on and doing this to either your family or my family or a group of friends. Like, remember when we went to the cottage with our friends? I could potentially see myself doing it.
yeah.
So I don't absolutely hate this prank.
Yeah, me too.
There's some updates for you. This gets interesting.
Okay.
First update. I'm honestly really embarrassed and humiliated about this update. I almost considered not even posting it, but I feel the need to vent and express my frustrations in some way. So here it is. I really hope you don't think too badly of me and you understand what I'm going through after last night.
I'm sad.
What?
I'm sad.
You're sad? You're sad? What? Is that a new term? Is that a TikTok term? Is that like I'm not very demure term? Is that what that was? It's
like, I'm ready. Give it to me. Give me the tea. I'm sad.
Oh, I'm sad. I'm in place. I'm ready for it. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a new term. 2025 term?
Yes.
Okay.
Like end of 2024.
Okay. Where did I leave off?
Sorry. Last night.
Last night, my girlfriend's family was holding a barbecue in their backyard, and my girlfriend was able to talk her dad into inviting me. He was originally against the idea of me coming, but he was willing to let me come so long as the first thing I do is offer a genuine apology for the prank that I pulled on all of them. I arrived in their backyard and everybody that I pranked at the campsite was sitting at a table and they were all clearly waiting for me to arrive. I sat down next to my girlfriend and began to apologize. I stated that my prank was ill-timed, immature, and thoughtless, and I apologized for ruining their camping trip that they had apparently been planning for some time. I tried to make it as genuine and sincere as possible, and when I was done, I waited for some type of response. There was a really long, awkward silence as the whole family just stared at me. Then the uncle whispered something in the dad's ear, and they both burst out laughing. I couldn't quite make out what he said. Then Dad said that he didn't accept my apology and that he told me to leave. My initial response was a very loud, "What the fuck?" And that made things worse. My girlfriend's dad kept telling me to leave and I lost my temper. I swiped an empty plastic cup off the table and said to the family, "Fine, fuck all of you," while flipping them off with both middle fingers. As I was leaving the backyard, my girlfriend caught up to me and said that she was breaking up with me. She said I was too immature and impulsive, and she said that she just wants me to leave her and her family alone. I tried apologizing to her profusely. I kept saying, "Babe, I'm sorry. Just give me another chance and I promise I'll be good. I promise." I kept saying this over and over, but she said she's given me a million chances and she can't fix me. She then walked off and I did something that made things even worse. I yelled at her, calling her a bitch, and then I started kicking and punching their wooden fence that separates their front and backyard. I knocked down part of the fence and then I left. All of that happened last night and now I feel like shit. Part of me wants to just give up on her and move on, but I also want to prove to her that I'm capable of changing. I want to promise her no more pranks along with trying to control my temper. What do you think I should do?
Leave them alone. What the heck? What do you mean? What do you think I should do? Leave them alone.
So obviously when he says, I tried to make the apology as sincere as possible, you obviously didn't do a very good job.
Yeah.
Because the family is sitting there and after your apology, they're looking at you and they're just like, that was not a sincere apology at all. It sounds like, dude, they were willing to forgive you.
Yeah.
And you just screwed the pooch and fucked it up.
Yeah. I think he has anger issues, truly.
I think he does. I mean, who says fine, fuck all of you, and then gives them both middle fingers when they didn't accept your apology?
And then calls the girlfriend a bitch in front of her family.
Bro, you're done.
How do you think you can come back from that?
There is no coming back. You are absolutely dead in the water. Just bury yourself. Second update. Long story short, I got in a fight with my girlfriend and her family last night. Now she's my ex-girlfriend, and I lashed out and broke down part of their wooden fence that separates their front and backyard. Her father hasn't contacted me about it, but I'm worried he's going to come after me eventually. What kind of trouble can I get in? Oh, I don't know. Maybe charged with destruction?
Yeah. Yeah,
or
definitely
something.
have to pay.
Third update. I'd rather not go into the details on this post, but the reason for the breakup is on my profile and can be read in there. Whatever. Simply put, I can't stop thinking about my ex-girlfriend. I can barely eat, sleep, or do anything that used to make me happy. Last night, I watched my first ever hockey game and was excited about that a few months ago, but I don't even care now. I spent the whole game thinking about my ex and how she broke up with me. She's all I think about right now, and I feel like putting in one last effort into making her see that I'm a better man. What should I say to her? What can I do to get her to come back to me?
I hope all the comments are like, dude, just leave her alone.
Maybe some people would give him advice on what they think he should do, and then maybe he's actually going to do it.
I feel like if you... this can't be the first time that you had an outburst like this. If you are that short-tempered,
right,
that you like blow up like that, I feel it can't be the first time. So I'm assuming like you've probably like quote unquote like learned your lesson in the past about like how your words have consequences and your actions have consequences, and now you're experiencing those consequences. Like you can't just take back what you've done. You have to think about what you say and do and realize that there are consequences.
You stepped on the toothpaste tube. Now the toothpaste all over the ground.
Yep. No putting it back in.
Nope. Fourth update. For those who may or may not know, my girlfriend broke up with me because I pranked her and her family by dressing up as Bigfoot and ruining their camping trip. But I think that since some time has passed, my girlfriend might be of a cooler head, and I was thinking of trying to win her back with a clever little way that involves the Bigfoot theme.
Oh my God.
My idea is to dress up as Bigfoot again, but not to scare anyone. I'm going to dress up, go into her backyard with an old stereo/CD player that still works, and play Sorry by Buck Cherry. I'll play it loud enough for her to hear, and I'm hoping she'll accept it and see it as a cute apology. I know it sounds a little cliche, the whole stereo outside the window thing, but I'm hoping that the Bigfoot costume might be a new little twist on it, and it'll be my way of apologizing for the Bigfoot pranks.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Okay. I think you have no sense of social awareness. I think you don't.
What if the people on Reddit are like just
egging him on?
Just giving him the bad advice. And he's
setting him up for failure.
He's just not seeing it. And you know what? There's always like people who become stalkers, and you're like, bro, what went on in your mindset that you thought this was a good idea?
We are in his mind now.
I feel like we are along for that ride. We are witnessing it. Fifth update. After reading through some of the responses from yesterday, I decided to go for it and get it over with. I dressed up in the ruffled up Chewbacca costume, grabbed the stereo, and walked over to my girlfriend's house at nighttime. We live in the same neighborhood, and there's a shortcut through a little stretch of woods that I take from my place to hers, and that's the route that I took last night. I climbed in their backyard, and I stood in their grass, holding up the stereo while playing the song that I had intended, Sorry by Buck Cherry. The problem is that the stereo was an old piece of shit that I dug up from my basement, and the volume wasn't loud at all. It sounded muffled, and I didn't want to risk moving closer to their house in case I was seen. But I wanted something to come from the night, so I set down the stereo and peered into the window that I knew led to my girlfriend's room. My girlfriend was just playing with her phone on her bed, and I just stared into her room for a little while. I guess I was caught up in the staring at her since I hadn't seen her for a few weeks and didn't realize that I had been staring in there for a long time. I turned to leave, but I saw one of our neighbors out on their porch, looking directly at me, and they were on their phone. My first thought that they were probably calling the police, and I panicked. I did something really stupid and tried to go into my girlfriend's house by pulling at their back green door. But her mom saw me trying to get in, and she screamed. I then ran back towards the woods, and I tried to pick up the stereo, but I really hurt my back while bending over, so I just left it behind in their backyard. The back pain was also shooting down my left leg, and I had to limp away from the house, and I limped through the woods back to my house and was also cussing at myself over how fucked up my plan was. The worst part is that this morning my girlfriend called me and left a message on my phone. She said that she knows it was me at her house and that she's only giving me one final warning before she talks to police about harassment charges, as well as a restraining order. She says that she's, quote, never getting back together with me, and she told me to move on. Now, I'm really depressed, which is how I've been feeling in the past few weeks. I'm physically hurting from my back and leg pain, and emotionally hurting from my girlfriend's words. I'm just really upset and pissed off. What should I do?
Oh my God. She's not your girlfriend anymore. You have to say ex-girlfriend.
He says girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh my.
No, this is crazy. I think he needs help mentally, honestly. I'm actually kind of sad for him. Like, I think he, like, honestly has something wrong mentally.
6th update. My ex-girlfriend left me a message on my phone threatening me with a restraining order. It's just a threat at this point, but I still want to know what happens to my record if she were to file one against me. Will it give me a criminal record and officially list me as a stalker? Is it something that appears in a background check? I just want to know how this will affect me from things like getting a job or something like that. Would this affect me nationally or just in my hometown of Denver, Colorado?
Denver!
That's an interesting question. If somebody gets a restraining order against you, like, does that mean that you aren't officially charged because you have the restraining order against you? Does that show up in a background check? I feel like that should. I feel like if someone gets a restraining order against you, and that should, but at the same time, like, what if they got a false restraining order against you?
Well, how would it get approved?
That's true too, right? You have to have evidence to get a restraining order approved. Yeah, I know nothing about that. All right, 7th update. I won't go into detail, but I left my stereo of mine at my ex-girlfriend's house, and this morning I got a text from her dad. It was a picture of the completely destroyed stereo next to a baseball bat, and the message read, "That's your head if you ever come near my house again."
Oh?
I want to know if I can actually take action against him for this. He destroyed my stereo and threatened to bash in my head with a baseball bat. What actions can I take? This is all taking place in Denver, Colorado.
Okay, buddy, what is your end goal? What is your end goal here? Like, now you're going to take action against your ex-girlfriend's father for, like, threats? Okay, if you do that, you're never getting her back. Like, do you think that you can still get her back after doing that?
So this guy is posting in like different forms, and the best of Reddit update has like pulled all of his posts together. So like that last one, like he posted that as a separate on legal advice.
Oh my God.
And the ones before that have been like on relationship advice and such.
Oh my God.
Oh man. All right. 8th update. I've spent the past few weeks thinking about how I can possibly get back together with my ex-girlfriend. I've decided to just move on.
Oh.
She doesn't ever want to get back with me and has caused me enough trouble with her family as a whole. I need to get over her and I don't know how. My older brother has a wedding in a few days, and it being a romantic occasion is really going to mess with me emotionally, especially since me and my ex were planning on attending together. It hurt even more to see that my ex was selling her dress and posted about it on Facebook.
Okay.
I can't get over the memories and all the time we spent together, and it hurts knowing that I lost her because of my immaturity and stupidity. How do I get over her? She's literally the only thing on my mind, and it has to end. Help me out, please.
Seek a therapist.
Download Tinder. Although I don't recommend him associating with any other
please
people.
Don't.
Go on a retreat on an island, a Buddha's retreat, or do one of those things.
Like no technology.
No presence of anybody else. Just go by yourself. Go on your solo
Zen.
Go on a solo Zen camping trip and go like no technology, no nothing for 2 weeks. Go catch your own fish and separate from society for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 9th update. I know that most people have seen my previous post on here regarding me and the issues with my ex-girlfriend and her father. He's already threatened me violently, and as of last night, he's called the cops on me, and now I'm awaiting a court date here in Denver, Colorado. Last night was obviously Halloween, and while I normally don't trick-or-treat at my age, I ended up taking my little cousin out around the neighborhood while my parents and hers were at a Halloween party. I also figured that I would wear my Chewbacca costume since I wanted to dress up and didn't have any other last-minute costumes. We walked around the neighborhood for a while, and we ended up on the same block as my ex-girlfriend's house.
What a coinkydink.
I knew it was only an inevitability that we would cross her house. But I honestly wasn't worried about it. I figured that her dad may not even be out to see us, and all I'm doing is trick-or-treating. We ended up walking by her house, and of course, both of her parents were sitting by their garage with bowls of candy to hand out. I tried to grab my cousin and make for the opposite direction, but it was too late. I heard my ex's dad yell, "I see you," and he's clearly recognized me. I just grabbed my cousin, and we made our way back to my house without looking back at my ex's house. We got home, and almost an hour later, the cops arrived, and they told me that my ex's dad wants to press charges on me for stalking and harassment. I'm currently awaiting a court order, and I think that this is all bullshit. I didn't have any premeditated plans to go near their house, nor did I have any intent with their property. I was simply trick-or-treating with my cousin, and we just happened to come across her house. The dad simply acts as if he's the king of the block, and he can dictate who walks in the area. What can I do to prepare for my court date? What arguments can I make? I wasn't stalking the house last night, and I wasn't planning on doing anything. I simply walked by while trick-or-treating, and the dad threw a fit. What can I do?
Okay, buddy, you could have avoided it. You didn't do anything to avoid it.
Yeah.
Like, even if it wasn't your intention for them to see you, you still went on the same block. Like in your Chewbacca costume, of all things.
Of all things.
Like, it's like you had a giant target, like saying, "Look at me, I'm back."
I will say that in itself, he technically did nothing wrong, but you are an idiot because you have caused previous problems with this outfit, And is your neighborhood so small that you had to walk your cousins down that street?
That's what I mean.
You should have avoided it for yourself. But on a technical point, he did nothing wrong in this post situation. So what he needs to do now is get himself a good lawyer, because if he previously had the restraining order, he would be doing something wrong. But at this point, he doesn't have a restraining order against him. He's allowed to go trick-or-treating. You made a dumb point to go there. But as far as the cops go and everything, in this vacuum of the situation, just get yourself a good lawyer, and they will say, Chewbacca, Halloween, doesn't affect previous problems, whatever. Just like if, like, I feel like this would be similar, like, if he was like going for a run and he happened to like run down their street, no Chewbacca costume, he's just going for a run that day. If he doesn't have a restraining order against him, technically is doing nothing wrong. Doesn't stop, runs right past their house. Nothing technically wrong.
But why do you have to go down that street?
But just don't put yourself in that situation with your previous aggressions towards these people.
Yeah.
When you do have a restraining order against you, now you can no longer run down that street because you were going somewhere. But so yeah, you're just dumb. So get a lawyer. There's one final update.
Okay.
It's been a little over a month since my girlfriend broke up with me over a prank that was admittedly my fault. It was a dumb, immature move on my part, and I've accepted the consequences. That being said, I'm now in serious legal trouble over what happened a couple of nights ago on Halloween. I ended up walking by her house while taking my cousin trick-or-treating, and her dad saw me. He's now pressing charges for harassment and stalking, and I'm awaiting my court date. Last night, my ex texted me, and she was clearly drunk. A lot of her texts were either gibberish or in poor grammar, but I can make out what she was communicating. Basically, she was, quote, celebrating me having charges pressed against me, and she was texting stuff like, quote, I hope you rot in jail, and, quote, lock him up. I responded with text my own. I called her names like see you next Tuesday and bitch, but she obviously didn't seem fazed. But simply sending her some mean text isn't enough for me. I honestly think that she has some nerve to kick me while I'm down, while all she has to do is just stay on the sidelines while daddy does all the work. I spent all day thinking about how I can get back at her over this.
Oh my God.
Part of me thinks I should just wait until I'm done going to court, but I also want to strike back while the event is still fresh. I'm thinking of one final prank. What should I do?
I can't believe this.
This is when OP deleted his Reddit account, and we will never know if he showed up to this court date in the Bigfoot costume.
Damn it.
I will say, dude, you had a gift given to you for your legal issues, and you just screwed the pooch.
What do you mean?
They are trying to get a restraining order against him. And if he goes to court and he's like, look at the timestamps that I have from my ex-girlfriend communicating to me, and I didn't reply, and I told her to stop messaging me, and she kept harassing me. Am I really the stalker here for over my Halloween?
Why does she keep texting him? She's toxic too.
Right? So that's where I'm like, dude, when she started texting you out of nowhere, that was the gift given to you of like, time to be calm, react to it in a certain way, and take that to your court date. Give that to your lawyer. Absolutely fighting back. They wouldn't be able to get a restraining order. I don't know courts or anything, but I would think his lawyer would have a strong argument of, hey, my client was actually the last one who was harassed in this situation. But instead, he just fought back and called her names because he
has anger issues.
He's an immature idiot. So yeah, there's that.
Okay, but also like the girl texting him is just so like she loves the drama.
She likes the attention.
She loves the drama. Like
I think she likes the attention. I think if she actually heard his boombox in the backyard, she would have fell for it. She might have been swooned. Maybe we're over here thinking, nah, this dude's so wrong. This dude's so wrong. The way that she was texting him, hey, maybe she would have been like on board if she actually heard his radio. Maybe he would have been spot on, but his shitty stereo just didn't work.
This is crazy.
Top comment on the Redditor, Best of Redditor update. This is like reading a choose your own adventure book and purposely making the worst choices every possible chance you get. He just keeps making it worse.
So true. Oh my God.
Oh man.
That was a good one. I am concerned.
There's a cause of concern.
Yes. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, back to you.
Am I the asshole for declining to invite a woman who has called herself a total klepto in my home? Do you know what a klepto is?
Is that someone who always wants sex or someone who always destroys everything they touch?
Kleptomania is a mental health disorder that involves repeatedly being unable to resist urges to steal items that you generally don't really need.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Not destroying, but just grabbing and putting them in your purse and taking them. So
I didn't know what it was before the story, so I had to Google it. That's why I'm stating the...
So you're a thief.
Yes.
You're a chronic serial thief.
Yes. So I joined a women's social club 6 months ago because I've been struggling to make friends after relocating to a new to me city. It took me a while to warm up to a group and to connect. What?
I'm sorry, but just the way that she typed that, after relocating to a new to me city. So like when people just type in, I went to a new city, that's just like a brand new city that came out of the ground of nowhere, his first person to visit. Like, isn't every new to me city a new city? You know what I mean? Like, every city you go to is going to be a new city to you. You're not the first person to go to the city. Okay.
I see what you mean. That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. It took me a while to warm up to the group and to connect with people I actually had anything in common with. I had to wade through a lot of Botox parties and boozy brunches to find things I was interested in. But I did, and I started coming to the group events fairly often. I hung out most often with the women who like to read, do crafty things, bake, skywatch, etc. Among these women is one, I'll call her Andrea, who has made several comments about how she's a total klepto. I think that she makes these comments to seem cool to the other people in the group. I reached out to some of the women I see regularly at the events and invited them over to my place to watch a TV show we'd been talking about and do crafty stuff. They were excited and agreed to come. Unfortunately, Andrea found out. I assumed someone asked if she was going, and reached out to me to ask if she was invited. I considered this for a bit and then told her no, as I only had so much room at my home. She didn't believe me and asked me for the real reason, saying I thought we got along, which, yes, it's true. I told her I'm not comfortable inviting a kleptomaniac into my home, that I've worked hard to have the things I have, and it would be stupid for me to invite her knowing that she openly brags about it. She said, okay, very quietly. Then she said, you're painting me out to be like some horrible criminal when you don't even know anything about me. I said that her being proud to call herself a klepto was all I needed to know. She said that I was a high school mean girl and an ableist. I am unsure what the foundation for that statement is. This unfortunately has spilled over to the group, which is frustrating. But what has me the most surprised is that there are so many people defending her and telling me that I'm out of touch and take things too literally. Am I?
Oh, man. Okay. That is complicated. Surface level, no, you're not the asshole. If somebody says, hey, every time I go to a place, I just like to steal people's things. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't want you stealing my things. So you're not invited to my house. I find it funny where she says that this is high school mean girl and I am ableist. Wouldn't ableist mean that I would invite you and I would let you steal my things? Wouldn't that be ableist?
No.
Like, what is ableist? Isn't that where you enable people to keep doing their bad habits?
No. Ableist means that you... I
actually had to Google something too, because when she was talking about hobbies, she said to do crafty things, bake and skywatch.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what is skywatch? Do you just lay on a picnic blanket in the park and just watch the clouds? But when I Googled it, everybody's talking about getting a telescope. So I think that's like space watch, star watch.
So ableism is what I thought it was. It's discrimination or prejudice against individuals with disabilities.
Oh, okay. So she's talking about being a klepto is a disability?
It is. It's a mental health issue. Kleptomaniac. It is a mental health disorder.
Oh. I guess that makes more sense.
So, okay, I'm going to read the top comment because I was a little bit torn. Okay. No, actually, what are your thoughts before I read the top comment?
I just think if somebody admits to you that every time they go somewhere, they steal things... Mm-hmm. You don't want to invite them over to your house.
Yes.
You don't want your
Obviously,
things being stolen.
Yes.
Can we have like a But like if she wanted to come over, I feel like you could make some exceptions, not exceptions, but you could make some adjustments to allowing her to come over, to allowing Andrea to come over. Be like, Andrea, you have admitted to me that you like to steal things and you can't help yourself. And I understand that. And there is nothing wrong with that if it is truly a diagnosed thing. How would you feel that as everybody is leaving for the day, that we are searching your bag and your pockets? How would you feel about having to empty out your pockets as you're standing in my foyer before you leave? You could be the last one to leave. Everybody else could have left, and it's just a me and you thing. But I would need to confirm that you're not stealing my great granny's pearls before you head out of my house. And if you're willing to do that for me, then, I don't see why you can't come over. Mm-hmm. That would be like, I think I could make that exception maybe.
Yes.
Little do we know that she put everything that she wanted to steal in all of her friends' purses and then takes them out of her purses later and sneaks it by you. But yeah, okay.
Like, puts it up her butt.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay. I don't know if they go that hard to try and hide their things.
I don't know. Okay, top comment though provides some another perspective.
Okay.
Not the asshole. Being a thief isn't the same as being a kleptomaniac or a klepto. One of the key factors of diagnosing kleptomania, which is a legit rare mental health disorder, is the roller coaster of emotions after the theft. A kleptomaniac will not tell virtual strangers that they have stolen because the shame is physically painful to them. Andrea is the ableist for rebranding kleptomania to justify her poor behavior.
It sounds like she thought it was trendy to be like,
different.
She finds it fun
Yes.
to take small things.
Yeah.
That is different from having
A diagnosed
mental
health.
urge
Yeah.
to do that. And I was going to say, people that usually like have that kind of diagnosis, like I don't feel like they would like
brag about it.
Like, make a joke about it. Like they would understand that it's a serious issue for them that they have to deal with, and they don't make light of their situation.
Mm-hmm. OP replies, I know that there are people who say that they are being so OCD about something, and they just mean they're being fastidious. I'm not well versed with kleptomania, but I thought her comment might have been along those lines.
Okay, I didn't know what fastidious meant, so Google says it's very attentive to and concerned about accuracy and detail.
Yeah. So I guess it's like similar to like being OCD, but it's not like you're actually diagnosed with being OCD.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know anything about kleptomania before. Like this was literally my first time hearing about it. So I think that top comment brings a different perspective that basically, I guess, kind of rules out that she is actually a diagnosed klepto.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if you were, it's not something that you brag about.
Yeah.
Right? It's not something that you openly make jokes about like that or chuckle about. I would say if she actually was, like, what are some adjustments that you could do?
Yeah, I would ask her, like, what do your friends and family do for you,
right,
to accommodate you and your mental health
like
issue?
If you actually are, like, if someone was like, they want to come to my house but they're in a wheelchair,
mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be like, no, because I only have steps, I don't have an access way for you. I'd be like, okay, well, maybe we can make an adjustment. Maybe I can get some wood and I can lay them over my steps. Maybe I can make a ramp for you if you wanted to come over to my house or something like that. Maybe we can do something. I would try to make some adjustments, mm-hmm. if somebody has any restrictions. Mm-hmm. So for this, I'd be like, is it too far to be like, hey, can we just like check your bag before you leave?
I don't think so. I feel like this is a tricky one. Like,
it is a tricky one.
I don't think that would be.
Or do you just prep your house before they come over? And you know what you like? Do you just take the valuables away, the things that you don't want to go missing? You hide them, and maybe you could put out stuff that, like, hey, if they took it, you could care less. Like maybe you could.
Yeah, but still, like those are still. I wouldn't want anything taken from my home. But
like maybe, okay, I'm just saying, like, seriously though, like this is a friend and you're willing to make some adjustments, and it is a mental illness for them. So they have a problem not taking things. Maybe you could intentionally buy some things that look shiny
Like
or
plastic plates or something.
or like my elephant, like my little chrome elephant that I have.
Yeah, you would want that stolen?
No, but I would buy something else, something similar that I wouldn't. I would buy it with the intention that, hey, my friend can take it, and I would put it on display somewhere that's like the most, the most easiest to grab, the most on display, the most easiest, like front of the shelf, something that's like intentional for them to take, and I'm totally fine with it not being there. Kind of like a trap, kind of, but like in the nicest way possible.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want them to take little James Bond cat here. So I would hide this, but then I would buy something at a whatever store for a couple bucks that I'm like, I'm going to put this right somewhere that's easy to grab, that they will like.
That they'll feel satisfied enough.
That's what I'm looking for. They'll feel satisfied. They'll take it and they'll feel like they got their satisfaction. And
I guess that is a way to accommodate.
And I'm zero care over here because I'm like, I bought that for you. That's my gift to you. Without telling you that, like, I bought that for you. And then you hide all of your valuable things so you don't have to stress. But when they come over and then they can be included, I don't know. Like, is that a good or bad plan idea?
I have no idea.
Of dealing with that. I have no idea.
If you know anything about kleptomania and we are totally off base here, like, let us know. Because, this is, like, something that's new to us. So.
100% new. Yeah, I got no idea on that one.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Moving on. Back to me?
Yes.
Am I wrong for enjoying my independence and not wanting to move back with my fiance when she is eager to get married and I'm not anymore? My 30 male, fiance, 32 female, and I have been together for 5 years now, engaged for 6 months. We have been living together for 3 years. I recently did my master's while I was living with her and got a higher paying job right out of university. Recently, I had been giving a client project which requires me to be on site for about 4 months. My living expenses are all paid for, and I've been living currently in a very nice apartment. Since our shared living arrangements was a 2-bedroom apartment with 1 bedroom set up as an office for my remote work, my fiance found a temporary tenant to help with rent and bills while I'm away. However, I've rediscovered a sense of personal space that I haven't experienced in years. See, my fiance snores, farts in her sleep, and honestly sometimes talks a bit too much for my liking. While I tend to be highly introverted, get disrupted easily, and find myself craving some alone time. Although I have found reasonable compromises, I just never realized how much of comfort and personal space I let go because I haven't lived by just myself, or sleep on a huge bed all to myself, or not have been disrupted by snoring or her waking up to use the restroom in a very long time. Prior to moving in with her, I used to live with roommates, which honestly wasn't ideal, but I couldn't afford to live by myself at the time. Now that I can finally afford it, I don't think my fiance would agree, as she's really in a rush to marry and have kids. I didn't fully grasp how significant my need for autonomy and comfort was until now. I even went as far as to asking the apartment community if I could extend my current lease. I want to marry her, but I've come to the realization that I'm not ready to move forward right now, at least not on our previous agreed timeline, which was more her pace than mine. I want to ask for an additional 6 to 7 months of living separately to really fill up my cup and recalibrate. Based off her personality and how well I know her, I know she will take this very badly if I say this directly. I'm not looking for opinions on breaking up or claims that we're incompatible. We've shared a strong life together for 3 years, and there's a lot that works well between us. What I need is clear, practical advice on how to phrase this conversation so that she understands my perspective. I'm even thinking that once I move back in with her eventually, I want my own bedroom too. She's really looking forward to me moving home, and we chat regularly. She has already started wedding planning on her own. I think part of why I feel so scared about bringing this up is because we've been engaged for 6 months and she was eager to get married after 2 years of being together. Citing grad schools as my reading for not wanting marriage back then was a reason she understood. I already feel like she would say she compromised a lot for me.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to give.
You need to give him advice that is not
This is impossible.
breaking up or that they're incompatible.
That's impossible.
Overlook those 2 issues and give us some advice.
This is hard. I guess maybe you could lie and say that you're.
No, no, we're not lying.
He's not lying. Okay.
We need on way practical advice on how to phrase the conversation to tell his truth.
I guess if you really wanted to, and this is the route that you want to take, just, I guess, maybe start off by reassuring her that you still want to marry her. You still want to do all these things. You still want the rest of your life with her. You want to live with her eventually, but you can just, I guess, be truthful and say that I have felt this sense of, I don't know, what's the word called? You liked being by yourself, and I guess this won't change anything for you. Just like reiterate that.
Yeah.
It's not changing anything for you, but like you really need this to proceed in this relationship.
The truth will set you free.
But first it'll piss you off.
And it'll piss her off, and then she'll set you free.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to actually have your cake and eat it too.
No, this dude is not getting his cake and eating it too.
No, I don't think so, unfortunately. I was thinking, like, it sounds like he's mostly annoyed with, like, the sleeping arrangements. And I was thinking, like, yes, that's actually a simple fix. You could just sleep separately. I think,
no,
a lot of couples do that.
Ooh, that's not a fix.
A lot of couples do that.
Okay, maybe. You're right. Maybe
it's better than breaking up.
No, I can understand that. I'm not on board because I don't think she's a compatible person for not wanting to sleep in the same bed. Your partner,
okay, well, it's
also
either
doesn't
that
want to
or
sleep
breaking
with you.
up.
Both of the people in that relationship have to be better off sleeping in their own bed. Not one person wants to sleep in their own bed and the other person's left alone to say, I'm sleeping by myself.
If you tell her, I need this, or I can't marry you.
Yep.
Then it's either that or breaking up.
This is basically what you're doing to her. You're taking your two fingers and you're like, this is me and you. And then this is me sleeping in my bed beside myself. You leave one finger for her and this is how she feels. Okay, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's worth talking about, seeing, I guess, like, just gauging how she feels about it.
Yeah, you should totally.
It's worth a conversation.
I think you should tell her how you feel, but then not be surprised when she dumps your ass to the curb. Because she wants to be in a marriage with someone and have kids with someone who she can sleep in the same bed with him. If he can't handle her, he can't handle her farts, he can't handle her getting up to go to the washroom in the middle of the night.
He said about she talks too much. I don't think he actually likes her. He doesn't like her.
How is he going to handle little rugrats coming around too?
How do we know that they want kids?
He says that. She wants kids. She wants to get married and have kids.
Oh.
So how is he going to handle multiplies of her?
Yeah, I guess.
Top comment. I know you said you're not looking for opinions on you being incompatible, but I think you're being delusional about this. She isn't going to take moving backwards in a relationship well. Yeah. And the issues you have with living with her aren't going to go away. Even if you wait to get married, they will still be there when you eventually do. I think you're just afraid to have to restart in the dating world. This isn't going to be a pleasant conversation, my dude. Nothing you can do about it. Okay.
Exactly my feelings. Like,
it's not that. I think you're just afraid to have to restart in the dating world. Dude, he's not restarting in the dating world.
He wants to be all by his lonesome.
Dude, you just don't want a relationship, man. Just go live your soul life until you're bored of it. You give 6 to 7 more months of living by yourself, you're only going to be...
Love it more.
Exactly. Yeah. You're only going to be more resistant to want to change anything. And then having kids and stuff. So like, dude, tell her how you feel. And either she will determine whether you are compatible or not. Tell her, hey, I want to come home and I want to sleep in my own bed because I don't like your farts and I don't like how you get up to go to the washroom in the middle of the night. And then also, I think you talk too much. So tell her all these things.
So basically, I hate you.
But then I love everything else about you. So tell her all these things and let her make the honest decision about what she wants in her life. She will most likely come back and say, you know what? This isn't the kind of life that I want. This isn't the father to my children that I want. Somebody who doesn't like our voices. So I'm going to go find somebody else. And then you can go and try and find somebody else. And just be honest up front in every single conversation. And maybe the time that you're in your mid 50s, you will find someone who also wants a roommate that they occasionally have sex with.
Yeah, honestly, I think that is the best approach. It's the most fair approach to her.
Yeah.
Is just literally coming out and being honest and see how she wants to proceed.
Yes. I don't think this person enjoyed their Reddit responses because they have deleted their account. Or the account has been suspended. How do accounts get suspended? I don't know.
I have no idea. There's a lot of things about Reddit that I don't know.
Right? Craziness. All right. Back to you.
Okay. My 30 female student, 18 male, made a super creepy comment. My husband, 35 male, thinks I'm being paranoid. I'm a high school English teacher and have been for a few years. In that time, as a woman, I've been used to teenage boys behaving awkwardly around me sometimes, and pheromones are part of the deal. There have been occasional comments, but generally in the vein of, Miss, so-and-so has a crush on you, or Miss, would you be so-and-so's Valentine? It's all in good humor, in front of the whole class or a large group, and is well-meaning. My school throws a January ball for seniors, 16 to 18, which is basically an opportunity to celebrate the start of another calendar year. As it's after hours, not every teacher has to attend, and this year I was asked to chaperone. There is no alcohol permitted, but obviously some of them sneak in hip flasks and so on. During this month's ball, 2 students were huddled at a table in the corner of the hall, not dancing, just keeping to themselves. I know them well as problematic students who have difficulties socially, but also perform poorly academically, so they don't fit in with the popular crowd or the nerdy lot. We have some of these every year, poor hygiene, greasy hair, long fingernails, that sort of thing. Immediately, I could tell they had been drinking, from the way they spoke and smelled, and asked them to hand over any alcohol they had. One of the boys, I'll call him Stuart, started protesting. He said the following, and I'm 100% sure this is what he actually said. Quote, "Come on, miss. Don't pretend you won't open that bottle of Bailey's when you get home, feet up in your dressing gown, watching the new TV. Give us a break." Now, as soon as he said this, I felt my heart drop into my stomach and got cold all over. 1. I had just bought a bottle of Bailey's Irish Cream for myself the weekend before the dance. 2. I am in the habit, on nights where I don't have much marking or planning and want to treat myself, of having a bath and watching a movie and series in my dressing gown. 3. My husband bought a new television over Christmas. I asked him how he knew those things, and he feigned ignorance, basically saying it was just a lucky guess. I was so shaken up that I left them, and a short while later they both left. But that night I could barely sleep, and my paranoia kept growing. I simply cannot believe that he could have guessed all those 3 things. 1 maybe, but no way all 3. My husband is away for work currently. I phoned and told him about it, and he basically downplayed my concerns, saying I probably mentioned those things in my class at various points and the student had just remembered it. But I would never mention those things. I just wouldn't, and I'm sure I haven't. I've become more skittish at home when I hear noises. I only live in a small house, but when I arrive from home from buying groceries, I check every single room and cupboard before I lock the doors. I've also arranged to have the locks changed. When cars stop outside the house, I turn off all the lights and peek at them through the blinds. I'm having trouble sleeping. In class, this student is quiet and the same as ever, not completing homework assignments, distracted in class. My husband is growing increasingly exasperated and worried more for my mental health than the possibility this student could somehow know details of my personal life. I mentioned it to my supervisor as well, and she also basically reasoned that I had either misheard what he said, it was a coincidence, or a combination of the 2. What's the play here? I'm seriously freaked out and don't know how to even begin putting this to rest.
Okay. Yeah. No. I'm on your side.
Are you
I'm
concerned?
on your side. I am concerned. If you are not financially strapped, which doesn't seem like you are, you said you're changing the locks, and that wasn't even a thought or an issue. Cameras. I'm getting cameras set up. I'm getting do we have a security system? I'm getting an upgraded security system. I'm getting cameras and an updated security system. And if that still doesn't temper your suspicions or concerns, and you still have some budget left, just hire a PI. Just PI the kid.
Oh, the kid?
Yep. Stalk the kid to see if he's stalking you. Is this dude playing peeping Tom with binoculars and looking through my windows late at night?
That's what I was picturing. Like, not in the house,
across
but like
the street.
Across the street.
Yep.
With
Just
binoculars.
looking in.
Yeah.
Like, do teachers know where their students live. Like that probably
I
wouldn't
don't
be
think so.
common, right? Like I don't
No.
think like the teacher would know like what all their students' addresses in there. Like maybe if they went and looked, they would find out. But they wouldn't like just be looking at Timothy and being like, oh yeah, I know Timothy lives on 8th Street down there when they're in class, right? They probably don't know unless like they went to the office and been
That's a good
like
question.
checking. Maybe the kid is like a neighbor. Maybe he lives across her street. But no, like she would have seen him
She
like
would have
coming
known
out of the
that.
door. Like that's something that
Yeah.
I feel like you would know or something. Or maybe he has a friend with somebody who lives
Also,
across the street, uncle.
If
house.
that was the case, he would have been like, oh yeah, I see you. I see you through the window because I live across the street from you. When she
Maybe.
asked
Yeah.
why,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
how do you
yeah,
know
yeah,
all that
yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
He would have been like, because I happen to see you.
You know
like,
we're neighbors, right?
Yeah.
So he's not neighbors. So
Yeah.
yeah. So like, okay. So PI him. If you don't have the budget for that, first step is cameras for me. First
Yeah.
step, cameras, home system. If you are still paranoid and you can't afford the PI, become the PI.
No, because then you could get yourself arrested. You're stalking a child.
Where is the line on stalking? If you do,
We just heard
No, I know.
the previous story.
right, but he did it several times.
Yeah.
If I just decide one day, hey, I'm interested to know more about this person, and I decide to follow them, like where is the line?
How would you get it one time? The one time that you go looking for him, he's gonna conveniently be looking through the bushes into your home. Like,
Maybe you get lucky. But now I'm just wondering, like, if you did decide to follow somebody one day, is that illegal to just follow them to see where they're going? Like, where is the line on stalkerism?
stalkerism. That is not a word.
And detective work, personal detective work.
You know, I don't know. I've always been curious about PIs. Like, because those aren't like
Like,
official. Like, could they get in trouble?
I don't think so because
Because they're not like working for the government.
No, but I think they have licenses. I think to be a
Oh.
PI, you have to go through certain training and you have to have the right to be a PI. And I think like you have to show your private investigator's license.
Interesting. Okay.
But like, what if you were like we watch those shows where they just,
Yeah.
they see someone walking down the street
Yeah.
and they follow them. How much of that can you do before it becomes
getting in trouble?
illegal?
Yeah.
How much can you, like, if you wanted to know if I wanted to know if you were cheating on me, can I follow you throughout the day to like watch your activities?
I guess that's fine.
Like, can I drive behind you as you go into Walmart? Can I wait for you to like exit out of the store and like try to follow you? How much of the surveillance line
it's
before it crosses the
discretionary.
line?
I think it's all relative to the situation because like this is like his superior. Like she is the teacher.
Yeah.
You can't really go stalk a student like that. But like a husband and wife, if you're suspecting cheating, I feel like they're different circumstances.
What if
Like the different reasonings will hold up in court, I feel.
Okay, what if I just wanted to have a new hobby and I go to the mall and I'm mall watching and I find somebody?
People watching is not illegal.
Okay, so how far does the people watching go? We're having a bit of an intrusive thought here. I'm shopping at the mall. I'm seeing someone I am not attracted to. Not like I'm doing it in a creepy. It's going to be creepy because you're following somebody, but I'm not like, oh, I saw a beautiful girl. Now I want to know where she lives. I just see this random dude and I'm just like, huh. And he's leaving the mall and I walk to the mall and I just walk and then I see what car he gets into. And then I go over to my car and then I start seeing where he's driving to. And then I just follow him until I see what house he pulls into.
I have no idea.
And then I continue driving and then I go home the long way.
I have no idea.
And I don't do anything after I discovered what house he lives into. And then I never show up again. I never go back to that house. I never follow him again. I never do anything to stop
We're
this
getting
dude again.
sidetracked. This has nothing to do with the story.
Is that illegal? It's an intrusive thought.
Okay, top comment. My thing is, why would he say new TV? I could believe it if he said drinking some wine, watching TV in your dressing gown, but being extremely specific about your drink of choice and new TV is a little scary. Wine is a trope, / TV is what you would think people do, / dressing gown is cozy. But those extra added details make it not a coincidence. That was exactly my thought. Like the new TV specifically. Like Bailey's fine. Like maybe like...
I thought he had Bailey's, and I thought she was confiscating his Bailey's when I read that. The only thing that got me was new TV.
New TV.
The dressing gown, I was like, okay, that's a stab, whatever.
Yes.
And then new TV is like, where I was like, how did he know she had a new TV?
Yeah, that is like too specific. to deny. So OP replies, exactly. If it was just, you're going to have some Baileys, or even you'll have some Baileys in front of your TV, like, okay. But those comments plus the new TV, question mark, exclamation mark.
Also, the next comment too, like, fair point. Like, do you use social media? Maybe the kids could be stalking you. Like, have you posted your new TV? Do you post your feet up, on your stories or anything? Like, how much do you do as a teacher with your private Instagram?
That could be the case. Okay, so there's an update that I have not read yet.
Okay.
This was not here when I first picked the story. I'm excited. I wasn't expecting this post to receive so much attention. I'm really grateful to so many people who have validated my concerns and helped me develop a plan of action. I got home a little while ago and I'm going out shortly with a friend to try rule out Bluetooth and Wi-Fi devices with my neighbors. After that, the two of us will try to conduct a meticulous search of the house for any concealed devices, using the lights out phone camera tricks some people recommended and some other tips I found online. Just to clarify a couple of points that I've seen raised a few times. Dressing gown is a really common term here in England for what Americans might call a robe. It's absolutely common parlance. Here, most people I know would associate a robe with something a wizard might wear. In terms of being a lucky guess, if he had just said, relax with a glass of wine, I might have assumed so. But the dressing gown comment, plus the Bailey's comment, when I had just bought a bottle, and the explicit mention of the new television, which I am 100% certain I did not misinterpret, these things make it so much harder to write off as a coincidence. As far as social media goes, I have Instagram, which is set to private under my maiden name, and my profile picture is not of me. I am not in the habit of connecting with former students. I only have 3 who have all gone on to study English at university and have used me as references. I also have a Snapchat, which I use only with my husband and very close friends. I have posted nothing about my new television, and I also don't think I've mentioned this to colleagues, let alone to students. Certainly, I said nothing about the Baileys I just bought. Also, yes, these are all great, thoughts as to, why this could have happened, but if any of those were the reason, the kid would have said so. Oh, you mentioned it to Miss whatever, that you bought a new TV. You told us you bought a new TV. But he was like she said, he was feigning ignorance. So that's so suspicious to me.
It's sketchy. That's smart for I couldn't, man, imagine you find a hidden camera inside your house.
Oh my God, I would lose
I was thinking he's just a peeping Tom. But now she's like, I'm searching through Bluetooth devices. And then she's finding hidden little cameras. I found a Reddit post that is talking about how to use your phone. When you turn off your lights and you're recording, you can see the lights pop up in
I've heard
infrared or something
on
like
TikTok,
that.
Yeah.
You can see the dots around the night vision lights. That's crazy. Oh my God, imagine she finds something. That would be so scary.
I'm going to have to follow this account so we get updates, because unfortunately that was the only update.
Insanity.
Crazy. I am concerned for her.
Her husband is underreacting.
Yeah. I don't know. We just have an intuition. I feel I don't know. There's paranoia, and then there's just a gut feeling, and when it's a gut feeling.
Yeah, someone just gives you the icky vibe.
Crazy. Okay.
All right, on to me. Am I the asshole for being upset at my girlfriend for judging my family? Myself, 28 male, and my girlfriend, Haley, 23 female, have been together for 2 years, live together, and have an amazing relationship. However, we come from very different families. Her family is pretty traditional. Everyone marries, settles down, and then has kids. Not to say she firmly believes that this is the right thing to do, though. She had a pretty fucked up childhood, if that's at all relevant. My family is extremely blended, with many divorces and teen pregnancies and kids with various partners. Haley has always gotten along really well with my family. They love her and vice versa. She has always accepted the way my family is, but something happened this morning to make me think otherwise. My cousin Jared, 23 male, and his girlfriend Amy, 22 female, just had a baby boy in September. I should also add that his younger sister, my cousin Shania, 21 female, has 2 boys with 2 different guys. My girlfriend loves these kids dearly and spoils them. So when Jared called this morning to tell me that he and his girlfriend are having another baby, I was surprised when Haley responded with a stone face and said nothing. I asked her why she didn't seem happy for them, and she said, Jared still owes your grandmother thousands of dollars, right? I said, yeah. And Amy is still waitressing and smoking? I said, yeah. She just said K and continued making breakfast. I asked her what that was supposed to mean. She got really agitated all of a sudden and snapped back with, I'm sorry, I love your family, but sometimes their stupid fucking decisions get under my skin. I just hate seeing kids keep having kids. Then went on to bring up other things about my family having lots of dogs and not training them properly and swearing in front of the kids and how none of my cousins have proper jobs to support their kids and dump them off with grandma all the time and live in trailers. She had never expressed any of this before and I was shocked. It made it seem like she sees my family as inferior and trailer trash. I've been reflecting on things she said, and yeah, they are true. I guess I've always just seen my family as normal because I'm the son of a teen mom myself. She approached me a couple hours later and said sorry, and that she just really believes that people shouldn't take having babies lightly because their parents had major unsolved issues throughout her childhood, which stick with her to this day. I accepted her apology, but I still feel hurt and bitter about what she said about my family. Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for what? I'm confused.
I don't know. I guess, am I the asshole over being upset at my girlfriend for judging my family?
No. No. I don't think what she said is like, okay, I think you're both kind of right in your feelings, I guess. Like, you both have different upbringings, and that's okay that you don't maybe agree on things. I thought the story was going to go a different direction. But I think she has the right to her feelings. Maybe should she have said them to you? No, because then it makes you feel like she's judging you.
Yeah.
But you are also not an asshole for being upset that she voiced those opinions to you.
Yeah.
I think she is being a little judgy because that is not her norm. But like, I'm not going to lie and say that I haven't been judgy before. Like, we literally sit here and judge people's life.
We sit here and we give verdicts.
We sit here and we judge. We listen and we don't judge, but we do. We listen and we judge in this podcast.
That's it.
So I don't think this isn't like relationship ending in any way. I don't think this is probably just like one of those conversations that you might like not agree on, but I can see OP like how he could take it personally, given that he grew up with like a single teen mom. Mm-hmm. So that would be at the back of your mind constantly. Like, are you judging my mom? Are you judging my family? Like, is my family not good enough?
Yeah.
So they're both valid. I don't know about that. I'm a little bit torn on this one.
You're waffling. Waffle.
Yes.
Top comment. No assholes here.
Okay.
But neither is she. Your family does sound like a mess, so she has good points. But it's also reasonable you would be defensive.
Okay. Amazing. That's exactly what I said. I feel better. I wasn't waffling then.
So one of the replies to that says, it's odd to me that OP thinks the main conflict here is because her family is traditional and his is blended, when she is 100% right. Their family don't have jobs, have pets they can't control, and kids when they're young that they can't afford when they owe other members of their family money. That's not blended versus traditional. That's objectively problematic lifestyles.
I would agree with that, honestly. Like, I know life, sometimes you just like, you have a baby when you don't plan on it. But like, there is a way of like taking responsibility and doing things objectively. What was the word that they used? I don't know. Anyways, I don't think she's being judgy for that. I feel like she's just being like reasonable. I don't know. She's reasonable in her concerns. Do you agree? You're not giving me anything here.
I know, I do agree. I think everything she said was valid.
Right? Like, that's what I was thinking too. Like, that is, I feel like, I don't know, that could be a comment that I could make. Like, if I know that, like, someone in your family, like, owes thousands of dollars or something to whatever, and they're, like, having a kid that, like, they can't afford, that is a cause for concern. Like, that is, like,
For sure.
you shouldn't be having kids, because then it affects the kids and stuff. And, like, maybe we are being too judgy in that sense, and people might not agree with that. But like, that is the way I kind of feel. Like, I don't think you should be having kids if you can't raise them properly, if you can't give them a good life.
I agree.
I don't know. To me, that is, like, a little bit selfish.
Yeah.
And that's okay if you don't agree with me.
Yeah, I think so. So as an update, to answer a couple of questions, Amy did smoke throughout her pregnancy. Haley has been in therapy for her own traumas for a couple of years now. So Haley and I had another talk, and we feel as though the situation is resolved. By the way, she does not know about this post. A lot of you guys really hit the nail on the head. On her side of our convo, Haley said she doesn't look down upon my family. And honestly, she's just not that kind of person. She just gets frustrated sometimes watching the kids have to grow up in environments that are not ideal for them. She is emotionally attached to my family and really, really loves the dogs. And the reason she got so heated was because she cares. Something she said verbatim was, quote, "It's not like I've been carrying around this giant resentment for them. I love them. Today, it just hit too hard." On my end, I now understand where she's coming from. You guys helped bring me a lot of clarity on that. I guess I was in denial about my family, and I feel like I was being a bit of an ignorant baby about the situation. Quarantine is making me a little weird, man. Just because they're my family and I love them doesn't mean I have to celebrate and turn a blind eye to their poor decisions. I realize it also doesn't mean that she was attacking them by expressing her issue with their decisions. And to the people calling my girlfriend privileged, you have no clue what that girl has been through in her short life. I'm lucky to have my strong, feisty, intelligent, caring woman. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Okay. I feel better about my response now.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel as well.
Okay. Yeah. Same. All right. Moving on.
Okay. Am I the asshole for, quote, having an intervention about my husband's parenting? We have a 10-week-old baby. Husband, 28 male, absolutely adores him and wants to spend every available moment with him. I know he wants to be an amazing father. However, he engages in unsafe behaviors like falling asleep on the couch while baby is contact napping, leaving baby on the playmat unattended while the dog is in the room, or putting baby for a day nap with his bib still on. Husband claims I'm too anxious, making a big deal out of nothing. Baby can't roll yet and the dog won't hurt him. He holds baby firmly while sleeping, etc. And I admit I don't react calmly and freak out, which makes him act defensive. But he is being unsafe and it stresses me out. I feel like I can't leave him alone with the baby, which only offends him more. Last week I had enough and asked my mother-in-law and sister-in-law to talk to him. They took my side and ripped him a new one. Now husband is angry that I brought him into it and made a whole intervention like he's such a bad dad. Am I the asshole for insisting my husband change how he acts around the baby and involving his family?
No, not the slightest. Everything is fine until it's not. Until it's not. Accidents don't happen until they do. The fact, like, I'm sorry, I'm envisioning that the baby is napping on his chest.
On his chest. That's what I'm like.
And he sleeps too?
Yeah.
Are you, are you dumb? I'm getting upset because we recently have been experiencing babies with baby Andrew.
Yes.
So this hits a little sensitive to me.
I know.
And I would feel like the worst person ever if we were babysitting and I put him on my chest and napped, he could easily roll off, fall onto the floor. He's 10 weeks old. His neck is still in the fragile stage,
yeah,
or
he
just
can't even hold up his own head.
Just getting out of it. So there's so many things where I'm like, you need to be overly cautious. It is a human being that can't protect themselves. You are their protection. You need to be there for it. So no, it's not at all. He needs a mental slap upside the head on what the right thing and the wrong thing. You are under pressuring yourself or under valuing safety or concerning. You're under concerning. You're just under everything right now. This is upsetting me.
Yeah, this one upset me as well. And it really sucks that like just get to know the person, the type of person that you are marrying and the type of person that you're going to have a baby with before you make decisions with them and bring a human life into this world and that you can't take back. Like,
yep.
Because if it's not this, like there is going to be something else. Like he's not going to be, what's the word?
I don't know, but I feel like you should be able to have a conversation with your partner
without him feeling defensive,
without him feeling attacked.
Yes.
Be like, hey, we can't risk our child's life.
Yeah.
We cannot risk it. And if you can't take that seriously, I have concerns.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I mean. Like something like that. Like is he always defensive when you provide him like feedback or something that you like maybe bothers you? Because if that was the case before you had a baby with him, like maybe that should have been like just a clue to like maybe not have a baby with him. Like I don't know.
Like, yeah, the dog won't hurt him. Okay. On the surface, that's great. But babies have a clenching reaction. So what if your dog goes to smell and your baby grabs him by the nose or the ear and then doesn't let go right away? Have you ever had your dog try and pull away and he's grabbed like that? Because dogs would get defensive. It wouldn't be too far of a stretch for the dog to go over, smell the baby.
Best dog in the world.
Baby grabs onto his ear. Baby
they
only
still have
grabs.
Reactions.
And then the dog tries to pull away, can't. And what do dogs do to defend themselves? They bite. That's their defense mechanism.
Yeah.
So is that really something that you could leave up to chance, no matter how well behaved that dog is or anything? Or what if the dog goes as the sweetest dog ever, will never bite anything, doesn't even know how to bite in the dog's vocabulary? So he goes over to the baby that's on the mat and he goes to sleep beside the baby and he sleeps on top of the baby's face.
Yeah.
Like he curls up into a ball and smothers the baby.
Yeah.
That's also why you don't let your cats in the room when your babies are sleeping, because what if they go and lay on the cat's face or the baby's face and suffocates them? So like, I would like this would give me anxiety of like knowing whether you're taking his life seriously. Like, no, you can't. It's not something that is, there is nothing else that is any more sensitive than a baby's life.
Yes. And he's honestly being really immature to like put his like fragile ego ahead of like your baby's safety. Like he's taking it as a defense, as a personal attack, when it's just like, okay, like if you take it that way, fine, but like just make the changes so that our baby's safe.
Exactly.
Like, okay, top comment. Not the asshole. Your husband is the asshole. He is doing dangerous things that could genuinely kill the baby. Safe co-sleeping does exist, but not with anyone but the breastfeeding parent for the first few months. Even then, you need to set up a space following the safe sleep. Following the safe sleep 7. I am sick of men not educating themselves on this and forcing you to do the labor of finding sources to teach them how to be a parent when you yourself are new to it too. And then he doesn't even listen to you. I would be livid. If he isn't willing to educate himself, he has to default to your knowledge. He doesn't get a say in any decisions if he's not knowledgeable about anything. 100%, like
Literally.
Perfectly put. OP replied, we have an attached bedside crib. Husband is perfectly safe sleeping on the bed when baby is next to him in the crib, within reach. I just don't want him sleeping during couch contact nap. Okay, it sounds like now she's trying to defend him a bit, but okay.
Not really. She's saying that if he wanted to sleep at the same time, he could do it with the bedside crib. She just doesn't want him sleeping during the couch contact nap.
Yeah, and like, yeah, we agree.
Yeah.
We're on your side.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
this would kind of triggered me too because of like Andrew and stuff and like sleeping with the bib on, like me as a brand new aunt. Like I know that.
Yeah. Well, we know that because of Madison's knowledge.
Exactly.
She taught us.
Exactly.
But I like what they say. If he's not willing to educate himself, he should be relying on your knowledge.
Exactly.
If you don't know, and if you can't tell me why what you're doing is the right way, then maybe your way isn't the right way.
The thing is,
and we should do it the other way.
Is.
Well, prove it. Give me the receipts. I like the comment after that replies to OP and says, gather up all the news of people accidentally smothering their infant and anything SIDS related. It should scare the F out of your husband. Also, get a tight grip on your kids in parking lots. 5-year-olds and under boys are the greatest start outs. I knew too many families whose kids just run out in back of a truck or in the parking lot. A few years ago, my father-in-law and brother-in-law were in a parking lot shopping and a little boy was run over. They're both doctors like my husband, but they couldn't save a little boy. Like the first 5 years at least is keeping the kid alive.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Sad.
If we ever take Andrew to Costco, I'm getting one of those.
We don't even go to Costco.
It's just an example. If we ever take Andrew to
Walmart.
Sobeys, sure. Whatever it is, babe.
But we don't go to Costco, so why would you? We don't have a Costco membership.
It just came to my head first. Thinking on the fly. What? We ever take Andrew out in public? He's under 5. I want the backpack leash. I'm putting he's getting a harness. And he's getting a leash. And it's a loop into my belt loop. We're not losing this kid. He can run around as long as he wants. He's on a leash.
We can achieve the same thing by just holding his hand instead of
we gotta give him
putting him on a leash.
We gotta give him room to explore. Costco's a big place. There's a lot of free samples everywhere.
Okay. Again, we don't go to Costco.
It'd also be pretty entertaining to see him darting off the leash. And then he gets to the end. Comes backwards. I'm excited. You know what I was doing the other day? I was on foxracing.ca and I was like, what are the smallest fox racing gear that I can buy? Like, how big do you need to be to fit into the smallest size possible? Yeah, probably like at least 2 or 3 or something. So
yeah, a couple more years.
Yeah. Okay, back to me. Am I the asshole for not helping my sister, who became homeless just after she gave birth to her and my soon-to-be ex-husband's baby? My sister, 24 female, and I, 26 female, were really close our whole lives, and we moved away from our parents together when she was 18 and I was 20. I met my soon-to-be ex-husband here. We got married and my sister stayed close. We spent a lot of time together. Then a few months ago, I learned my sister was pregnant and my husband was the father. I ended my marriage to him immediately and told my sister I wanted nothing to do with her and she was on her own. I had some of her stuff at my place and I left it at my ex's place for her. For the rest of the pregnancy, they were living together and then he wouldn't let her back in after the baby was born. She called our parents from the hospital and told them she had nowhere to go, that he was looking for custody and didn't want her back and wasn't answering her calls. So they called me, and after I heard them explain what was going on, I told them it wasn't my problem. They tried to argue, but I wasn't having any of it. She got a place at a shelter for single parents, and she's still there several weeks on. With a custody dispute, she can't move back to our parents, and I'm still refusing to help her out. My parents are angry because I won't even take her calls or reply to any messages she sent. I actually blocked her because I knew she wouldn't stop. My parents don't know that part, but they're telling me I should be ashamed of myself for turning my back on her and the baby. I told my parents I owe her and the baby nothing. I told them that it was a shame she didn't choke on his dick when they were sleeping together behind my back. My parents call me disgusting for leaving them homeless. That I have room and could help. So am I the asshole?
I can't. That's insane.
Damn.
No, you're not an asshole. You have every right to not do anything.
Yeah.
To not give a shit. Those people, strangers to you now. Like, they don't exist in your life. You owe them nothing. Not a thing. They couldn't owe you. They don't owe you, like, the decency and respect of not sleeping together.
Right?
Then you don't owe them a fucking roof.
And, like, wow, karma with the fact that he, like, why doesn't he want anything to do with her anymore?
Yeah, like, that was...
And why
I'm
was
wondering...
that, like, what the heck happened there where he's, like...
You can't come back.
Yeah, why is he turning his back on her?
Because maybe she let it slip.
Maybe. Like, how did she find out about it? And, yeah, maybe she told her sister that she's pregnant with her kid. Maybe he blames her for ruining his marriage.
Well, it takes two to tango, buddy.
Yeah.
What a piece of trash. Both of them.
Yeah. So, one of the top comments Okay, your sister can't stay with your parents. Why can't your parents pay for an apartment or have family help out? Why does it have to be you, not the asshole? That's one crazy bleeping sister, not the asshole. Your parents don't want to deal with the situation, and yet they want you to take the responsibility to help.
Ew. Like, so icky that the parents are like, yeah, well, who cares your sister fucked your husband?
Yeah.
Let her
well,
stay with you.
I care.
That's so crazy. And then they're not doing anything to help on their side. They're enablers, and they have probably favored your sister your entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the younger one.
Yeah. I feel a little bit bad for the baby, but
I know.
Baby won't remember.
It's not the baby's fault.
Baby won't remember the shelter when it's 5. I don't know.
It's tough, but unfortunately, like that can't like concern you. It really like can't be your deciding factor. I know it's a baby. It's a helpless baby. Like, but that's on your sister, not you, for making shitty choices.
Yeah. No, that's true.
You can't take responsibility for that.
No. No update or anything. It's posted 11 days ago. OP does reply to some of the comments. They say the parents can't help because the parents live in another state.
Give them money.
Yeah.
Is that all?
Yep, that's it. Back to you.
Okay. I'm going to do the update to the Am I the Asshole for calling my coworker work sister after she called me work husband in front of everyone.
Oh, that was a good story.
Yes.
That was
remember what episode?
Episode 40.
Okay.
Work-life balance. So it's been a little while.
If you guys didn't listen to the story, maybe you want to go to episode 40 for that. But just a quick recap. OP had this work friend who was a female, and they were like getting drunk at work one night, and she
called him work husband,
and he is married. And he said, "You're like my work sister," in front of people. And then she got so upset because he quote unquote embarrassed her.
Yeah, then there's big blow up at work, and then he got a different work partner.
Oh, yeah.
She was no longer his work partner, and she was upset about it. And that's kind of where we left off.
Yeah. So this is the update. I wrote a post 6 months ago regarding calling my coworker, Mary, work sister and upsetting her in the process. Things got really weird afterwards, and I was paired with another coworker, Carolina, for work trips. Someone anonymously tipped Carolina's boyfriend that Carolina was engaged in messaging explicit pictures to her coworker, and he in turn reported her to our HR as revenge before breaking off with her. No one explicitly said it, but I could see that everyone suspected me to be the other person. After that, Mary and I were again asked to travel together despite my reservations, mostly because others did not want to travel with me. Oh! I am sorry I did not write an update because nothing noteworthy happened until last Friday, and my wife, Brooke, and I have been arguing ever since about what to do next. I have been applying for similar positions in the last few months, but it is hard to find a similar job in this market. Brooke has expressed her reservations on me traveling with Mary, but also understands that I would stop traveling with her if I could. We have bills and a mortgage, and I cannot just leave my job. Just like most commenters on the previous post, she believes that Mary framed Carolina. I have been extremely professional with Mary during our travels. Things are not as they were before, where I could consider her my close friend. I am always guarded around her and try to spend most of my time in my room after work. Carolina stuck around for around a month after I wrote the post, when HR was investigating the incident. I tried to support her initially and also told my manager that she was being very professional. However, rumors started spreading around that I am going above and beyond to save her job, and she spent a lot of time in my office talking to me alone. We mutually decided that the optics were not good and started distancing ourselves. She resigned a month after the incident because she told me she could not take it anymore. From what I know, she is still looking for a job. Mary, on the other hand, seems to be happy on our work trips. Although I act extremely professional around her, a part of me knows she might be the person who framed Carolina. I have no proof, just intuition. I also feel Mary is the one spreading rumors about Carolina and me in the office. She always plans the dinners after work and sometimes asks me to get a drink at the hotel bar as we did before. I generally avoid drinking on these trips now. There were a few times where she insisted that I get a beer, but I told her I am already on thin ice at work and have promised Brooke I will not drink on these trips. This has not stopped her from getting hammered and me having to drop her to her room by the end of the day a few times. That's not your freaking problem, bro.
Literally.
Brooke has been very supportive through the whole thing and has not once suspected me or blamed me for anything. She has asked me to not drink on these trips and also just make sure that I call her every night when I reach my room and when I go to sleep. I also voluntarily installed location tracking app on my phone so that she has a peace of mind to know where I am during these trips. In the same hotel room? Okay. On the incident from last Friday, we had a Christmas party last Friday at our office. Brooke joined me and the party was great. Mary asked me for a dance, but I declined, and Mary did not look thrilled about it. Brooke was lovely and we danced together for most of the night. There was one point where I was talking to my manager and a few other colleagues, and Brooke was talking to my manager's wife. Mary interrupted them and started bragging about how she has to take care of me during work trips since I am so clumsy. Brooke also joined in on how I am clumsy and how forgetful I am at home. Mary then told Brooke that I make her feel safe on the trips and told her about the incident when she got drunk and how I had to take care of her by dropping her off to her room and sitting by her bedside until she fell asleep. Mary insisted that I am a gentleman and nothing happened, but how I also show care for her. Brooke knew about the incidents when I dropped her off to her room. However, at no time did I enter Mary's room. Brooke did not say anything at the time, but when we got home, this turned into a huge argument. I told Brooke that I did not enter her room and just led her to her room and immediately called her and told her about the incident. I even showed her the text conversation where I messaged Brooke after leaving the restaurant and when I got to the room along with the timestamps. After Brooke calmed down, she told me that she believes me, but it's crazy how fluently Mary lied to her in front of my manager's wife. She told me that Mary is just trying to plant a seed of doubt in her head and she cannot pretend anymore that she is okay with Mary. She told me that Mary ruined Carolina's career and if she does not get her way, she might do the same to me. Brooke has asked me if I can draw a red line on traveling with Mary and if my manager does not accept, I should resign. I feel Brooke is right and nothing is more important to me than her. However, it feels so shitty to be in this situation when all my hard work to reach this point in my career will be ruined. I do not know what to do next. I am really hoping to get advice and ideas on what I can do here. I just feel so trapped and not sure what I can do at this point. I am fuming right now. Nothing triggers me more.
Jesus. Yeah,
I haven't read this before, by the way.
Just keep applying to their jobs.
Why isn't HR doing anything about this?
Right? Like, isn't it an issue when she admits in front of your manager, like, oh, I got so fucking wasted on that work trip. I got so drunk, I could barely make it back to my room.
And she's openly lying. Like, he should have a whole case on this with HR.
Yeah.
Proof, examples of, like, how she is being so manipulative to his wife.
Yeah.
Lying to his wife. Like, that's so crazy. How are they still putting them together? Oh my God. No, I'm so mad. Mary is unhinged and I hate her. I hate her.
One of the commenters says, I actually think a condition of future trips is to be at separate hotels. With separate hotels comes separate travel to wherever you have to go. You can go back to your hotels to eat, so you have fewer interactions with her. Like,
why did he need to bring her to her room? Sorry, I would have been mad at that alone.
Right? Like, bro, she decided to get drunk. Leave her in the lobby or let one of the staff members get her to her room.
She's a full-grown adult.
Exactly.
That is not, like, up to you to take care of her.
No. Leave her at the restaurant. Leave her at the bar. Walk away from her. Let her walk up there herself or let an employee help her get up
Also,
there.
like, how did you know she got drunk? Like, were you there with her? I'm kind of suspecting him, too. Like, he's saying he loves his wife and stuff, but, like, she insisted on you getting a beer. Like, say no and leave. How were you there to know that she was drunk?
That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't trust him. I'm so mad. Oh my God. No, this particularly triggers me because, as you guys know, I'm a jealous bitch.
In every situation, she just envisions that I'm the one in the story.
Yes, because you've had girls at work that had crushes on you. And
I wouldn't go that far.
Yes. Okay, because you're ignorant and oblivious. like, I don't know. I just like this hits me hard.
It's hard.
I like if I were Brooke, I wouldn't say, like, you have to do something about this. Sorry. Like, I would, it's an ultimatum at this point. Like, either you keep your job or you stay with me. Like, I cannot go through this.
It's tough though, because aren't we all slaves to paying our mortgage and keeping a roof over our head and
like
being able to buy
then
food?
he should be pushing it at work.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he would have a case for that. Like, if, for example, worst case scenario, they fired him for not, like, wanting to go on trips, like, you would have a case. It would be wrongful termination.
Yeah.
So,
I would keep reporting her to HR. Every little incident, I would be reporting her. Like, I was going to dinner and she begged me to have dinner and I told her no. And then she did it again and then she did it again. Then she got wasted. And I would just keep all these little incidences. I would just keep reporting her behavior. Have like a freaking log list. Got to create a paper trail.
I do feel like there is more than that he can do. Like, I don't think his hands are that tied. And I know he is a victim in this situation and I'm not trying to victim blame. But as like, you are in the middle where like someone is being like totally obsessive and creepy about you and your wife is like, okay, do something about it. Like, I feel like you can do something. Like there is more. Like,
you still got to control your own actions.
Yes, exactly. Like, I feel like, I don't know, just the bringing her to her room type of thing, like, really just like puts me off.
Bro, you are 100% by yourself. You could be sleeping in the garbage bins outside and I will not know because I'm in my room.
Because you are not my responsibility.
Yeah.
You're a full grown adult. Like, if you can't handle your liquor, like, that's not my problem. Rant over.
All right, back to me?
Yeah.
That was a good update.
That was a good update.
All right, back to me. Am I the asshole for, quote, tolerating a night out with my girlfriend?
Tolerating?
Earlier this year, I gifted my girlfriend 33 female tickets to a concert that she really wanted to go to. That was this past Friday night. I, 36 male, am not a fan of her music, nor the fact that this concert was in the city, but I wanted to make it a great gift. She was elated when I told her I bought the VIP package, which is the meet and greet with pictures with the band, etc. Last week, my girlfriend began asking if we could get to the venue early. Being the thorough, detailed person that she is, I assured her I would check. Instead, I was too busy with work. Honestly, it was getting a bit annoying that almost every few days she would ask. So I told her I didn't see anything while deleting a bunch of emails from the venue for concerts I don't even care about. On Friday afternoon, she told me that she had tried looking things up and was only finding out that the doors open at 7. With that, I picked her up at 6 and arrived at the venue for 7. Once inside, she showed security our tickets and asked about the meet and greet. The bouncer informed us that the VIP meet and greet was at 6. I froze. Now my girlfriend turns to me asking if I received any kind of emails since the tickets were in my name. I told her that I deleted emails and she seemed to understand. I actually really enjoyed the whole time. So once the band set ended, we decided not to stay for the last band. This is where the trouble began. It's 10 p.m., we're outside the venue, and she suggests we go to a bar a block away and either walk or ride share. Immediately, I said there was not a chance. She mentioned that my car was in the second lot and we shouldn't be far, but I lost my cool, which I admit was not the best way to go about things. I told her, quote, "You don't go out in the city. There is crime all over the place." She responded that we were in the city. I went off how I can't stand it here, so she said that we'll just leave. No raising of her voice, she just said she was fine with leaving. She was silent on the way back, and I suggest that we go back to my place to finish out the night, and she refused. This also pissed me off because I asked what was wrong with the bar next to my apartment, and she shut that down with her short responses. Overall, the night cost me $300, and while she's saying more to me now as opposed to Friday night, she is very distant. She told me she could live with not going to the meet and greet, except for how things turned out afterwards, and that is when the disappointment truly set in. My response was that I was only bringing her to the concert, nowhere else, and thinking of her safety. She continued that I shouldn't have bought the tickets if I was only, quote, tolerating doing so. I do accept that I made some mistakes. chiefly with making us miss the meet and greet. The timing of the concert should have made this an unforgettable experience since her grandmother just died. Am I the asshole?
This is the clearest am I the asshole ever. Yes, you suck, bro. You suck. You're a big sucker. You suck. Bro, okay, the fact that she wasn't even mad about missing the meet and greet.
Bro, imagine the meet and greet was with Taylor.
Oh my God.
And I missed it because I deleted the emails.
No, I think I'd actually be done with you. No, because at that point, it's like, you don't really care about me.
You don't give a fuck about me
to
even read some emails.
Like, no, exactly. It's not just like the fact that like he missed it. It's like the fact that you don't actually care enough to like put some time and effort into like looking into it.
Well, he did put the time and effort into getting the tickets.
Okay, but still.
Unprompted. So I kind of find it funny or ironic or whatever.
Yeah, ironic.
That you took the effort to do the big surprise, but you couldn't follow through.
Yeah.
You spent the extra money to get the VIP tickets. You didn't have to. You could have got regular tickets, but you spent the extra money to get the VIP tickets. And then you didn't look up what time the VIP tickets start at. Is that ironic?
It is ironic. Truly,
Like-
that's a great word.
Like, come on, dude.
And then like we don't go out in the city. There's crime all over the place.
So the post got 8,000 upvotes, and the top comment got 40,000 upvotes. You're the asshole. You deliberately deleted emails despite knowing she wanted to be sure of the details. You found it annoying that she asked. As a result, she missed what was most certainly the main part of the gift for her, the chance to meet the artist, which was also the point of buying the VIP package, so you wasted your money too. Then you patronizingly told her that there wasn't a chance you'd do something else, when she was trying to salvage some measure of specialness out of her ruined night. You made an ignorant and bigoted generalization that cities are full of crime, acted like a petulant child when she didn't want to go to the bar near your apartment, which isn't exactly a special or memorable thing to do if you go there all the time. And you finally misrepresented the whole thing as being about you, not being sufficiently enthusiastic about the band. This isn't about you tolerating the night out. It's about you ruining it. The fact your girlfriend just got quiet and withdrawn instead of pushing back makes me worried that you've got a history of losing your cool. That makes her afraid of her safety if she speaks out.
Yes. I did suspect that. Like, she didn't really care. Like, or she seemingly didn't care that she missed the meet and greet.
Yeah.
Probably because she didn't want to blow up before the concert.
Exactly. The comment that replies to that comment actually is basically what was going on in my head. Don't forget, his petulance wasn't actually about her not wanting to go to the bar near OP's apartment, but that she didn't want to, quote, finish out the night. In other words, OP was upset that he dropped $300 and wasn't rewarded with sex.
Stop.
That's exactly what was going through my head when I read finish out the night at my place. All I heard is he wants to be rewarded with sex for his shitty date.
That's crazy.
Half shitty date. There is nothing better. Listen, nobody, I can understand like not liking the city, but I feel like when you are coming out to a concert in the city, you should definitely look at like the after plans or the before plans. You should definitely plan to like go out into the city a little bit, especially like if you know that your girlfriend likes it.
Yeah.
I think all of this should show that she should break up with him.
Yes. 100%.
Especially when they were just dating. Like, do you really want a partner in your life that when they try to do something good, they just half-assed it and it just turns out shitty, that they can't even do a proper surprise for you? They can't go all the way for you. They can't make any adjustments for you. Do you really want someone like as that to be your partner for life?
Exactly.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, it does. I completely agree.
All right.
True colors. All right. Anyways, I think that's all.
All done.
Life updates?
I do have a couple leftover ones that I guess we will be reading on Patreon.
Me too. I have two.
I have two. One of them is called "A Woman I'm Dating Posted My Picture on a Cheaters Page."
Oh, we have those in Toronto.
And that's the best of Redditors update. And we do
Okay.
have those. So I'm excited to see how it ruined his life.
Yeah, we have something like a group chat on Facebook that's called like,
Yeah.
"Are you dating my boyfriend?" or
Exactly.
something.
Yeah. And then another one says, am I the asshole for being mad at my husband for saying he would pick his deceased wife over me?
That's heavy.
Some cause for concerns with
Yes.
those two, but those will be coming on our Patreon. If you guys are new, we do Patreon bonus episodes every Friday. We appreciate you guys coming over to support us. Sometimes the best ones are right on Patreon. If you thought these ones are really good, Patreon could be better.
Yes.
So if you guys want to help support us, or you're just craving more stories, check us out on Patreon. You can get the video version, or you can get it for a Spotify version. And we do that bonus ones every week. And right now there's like 36 bonus episodes for you guys to watch. They're all usually about an hour and a half long. So just like mad time for you to go down the rabbit hole if you'd like to. And we also give you guys a little bit of more detailed life updates. So if you do love Denver and Teresa and you love us and you want to know a little bit more about us, we'll give you a little bit more raw stuff on the Patreon.
It also includes early access.
And early access to the regular
videos,
episodes. So a lot of benefits over on Patreon. So if you guys do decide to come to Patreon, we appreciate your support.
Thank you all.
Q&A time?
Sure.
Q&A time.
How many do we have?
I think we've got like, I don't know, let's see how many we can get through. We'll try and do them rapid fire.
Okay.
I will say though, like if you guys have any questions for us that you want us to read in a future episode, then just drop a comment either on Spotify or YouTube, and we'll get to those in the future. All right. Love it here. Quick rapid fire. Bluebell is the superior ice cream. Child-free and histamectomy by choice here at 24. Best decision I've ever made. The child life community is glorious. I low-key hope y'all never have kids. Also, Teresa is right about Demure. Love the show. For Q&A, how did Denver propose?
Oh, have we talked about this? I don't think so.
I not
Maybe.
I don't think too much because I proposed before we started the podcast.
Yeah.
I proposed.
But we did have an engagement episode, like episode 5 or something.
That is true.
Maybe.
So I think we chatted about it a little bit, but we can.
Definitely. It was a long time ago.
It was a long time
we
ago,
did.
and it was before we started. We do have a proposal video.
Oh, God.
If you guys want to see the proposal, I mic'd Teresa up. Teresa thought we were doing a vlog intro
Yes.
for it. So it is mic'd up. I have a microphone. She has a microphone. I had planned to like say this whole speech thing and, you know, throw in some Taylor Swift in there. And I just froze, locked up, barely said anything. And yeah, but if you guys follow us on our Denver and Teresa YouTube account, you can find our engagement video there. But I'm going to let
I'm
Teresa
embarrassed.
tell you how it went down.
So I'm going to start off by saying that I knew.
That is an accurate statement.
So, okay. There were a couple times where Denver like had on his phone, I guess like Google searches of, what's it called? The observatory?
Griffith
The Griffith Observatory.
in
That's where he
Los
proposed.
Angeles.
So, on our California trip and whatever, this was like the one place that he really wanted to go. And the rest of the trip I planned, okay?
Kind of.
So
I planned-
he was like very adamant about this one thing. And there were times like that one time when I was at my parents' house and I went for a walk with my mom
Yeah.
and Benji.
Yeah.
And you stayed back with my dad.
Yep.
And then it was like a little suspicious.
Yep.
And then when you came back, you were like showing me something on your phone. You opened it up, and what is that? A picture of the Griffith Observatory. No way. Okay, that's suspicious. So, me being the annoying person that I am, I like a month before our trip, I was like,
Yep.
babe, I know when you're going to propose. I know when you're doing it.
And I was like, oh, she caught on. And I'm like, I know she could know because she's like, there's, you know, you're very specific about the trip. And I've been doing almost
Pacific.
whatever, specific. You've been doing all the planning, and she wanted to hike the Hollywood sign,
Yes,
and then hike over to the Griffith Observatory.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's a terrible idea. It's already going to take us so long to get up to the Hollywood sign. We're going to be sweating, and then we're going to have to walk all over there.
I'm actually glad we didn't.
I'm glad we didn't too, because it was
hard.
I was right outside of the fact that I'm trying to propose, and I was like, because I'm like, Teresa does not want to be proposed to in hiking gear. She wants to be dressed nice and cute. She doesn't want to be in sweatpants. So I was like, why don't we do that first thing in the morning? We'll go up there, see the nice sunrise, and then we'll go explore the rest of the day. And then we'll be in nice clothes, and we'll have a driving day.
Yeah. So after I told him, I assumed, he feigned ignorance, and he was like, no, you don't know a thing. Let's not talk about this anymore.
I was like, just tell your sister. Tell your sister what you're planning. Because me and her sister were in cahoots.
And then, so I figured, since I told him, he was going to change it.
Mm-hmm. I planned for that.
So it was like a little bit of reverse psychology on both of our parts.
Mainly my part.
Yes. So little did I know, he didn't change it.
I already had the photographer paid and booked. She was planning on meeting us there.
So he told me, we're doing a YouTube intro, like dress up nice and stuff. And obviously, like, I was like, well, he's not going to be dumb enough to keep it at the same time, because he wants me to be surprised.
So to throw her off the scent a little bit, I said, hey, like, we need to, I said, no, I have to change it now. Oh, you ruined it. I kept hyping it up. I dropped some little hints, like maybe we would do it on the beach in like San Francisco or something.
Venice Beach.
My backup plan was to do it at the bridge that we never went to on the way to San Francisco. The Big Sur Bridge.
Oh, Big Sur.
That was like, we had to take the different way because the road was closed. Yeah. But there was also like that one spot that we pulled over that I got some like 360 drone that was like on that cliff's edge. There was like a little sketchy walk to, and there's a couple people there, and it was right on. That would have been a great spot. It would have been
perfect, yeah.
That would have been a perfect spot too. I probably could have set up.
But not for a photographer.
Not a photographer. There was a couple other people there, so a photographer could have just been like,
I guess, but what made the Griffith so great was that it was like the first thing that we did in the morning, whereas like our drive to San Francisco from LA,
it's the middle of the day.
It was also like, we didn't plan timing.
Yeah, it was unpredictable when we would have been there, because we had like 4 stops before that.
Yeah.
And like craziness. But so I convinced Teresa we have to go for like 8 o'clock. I paid for the photographer to be there from 8 to 9. I'm like, we got to get there for 8. We ended up getting there for like 8:15. We were able to get parking right up all the way to the top. It was convenient. I had planned to throw the drone up and have the drone doing a 360 motion as I got down. And then as soon as we get there, there's a bunch of signs that say no drones.
Yeah.
Didn't stop me at the end though. But.
Okay. Maybe don't say that. We're going to get arrested.
The footage is in the video.
Oh, I guess.
So I take Teresa along the edge, and I'm looking for the photographer, and I'm texting. I'm like, hey, we're here. This is what we're wearing. And she's like, yeah, I'm in the bushes. I'm ready. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, there's too many people. I'm like setting up the tripod. We're there for like 5 or 10 minutes, and we're like walking around. So it made us seem like, hey, if I was going to do it, like maybe I would have done it on the other side of the building. And then we're walking around, and I'm like trying to tell Teresa, like, hey, we need a good spot for this vlog. We have a good background, but like nobody's nearby. And there's this one spot on the other side that had this like balcony up above, and then you like walk down the steps down to the edge, and I'm like, this is perfect.
It was perfect.
So at the last minute, I was like texting the photographer. I'm like, hey, come over to this area. This area is perfect. So then I'm starting to like set up the tripod, set up the mic, and I'm like, keep looking up, waiting to see this girl, to see where she is. And then at one point I see her, and then she gives me a head nod, and I'm like, all right, this is the time. Set the camera up on the tripod, we're mic'd up, and then my brain just goes blank.
Yeah, it was great though. It was when I saw the photographer, I started crying.
Yes, because you didn't
like,
even see her at first.
Yeah, I had no idea.
And then I was like, smile. And you thought we were smiling.
I was smiling at the camera. I was like,
you were smiling to the cell phone camera.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, up and over here. And then you saw the photographer pointing right at us. And she's like,
I'm gonna cried thinking about it.
And then she broke down. And then we did like our engagement shoot directly after for like a half an hour all around the Griffith Observatory. And we have the best pictures ever. And it was like great. Because Teresa told me, we talked about engagements like on a couple episodes ago. So Teresa, for her engagement, she told me she doesn't want to be at home. She wants to be in public, but with nobody around.
Yeah.
And it was perfect because
it was perfect.
When we walked to that area, there was like
nobody there.
There was actually 2 people there.
Oh,
and I remember being like, I hope they leave. And then as soon as we walked down and started setting up, they walked away.
Oh, okay.
So the photographer was there all by herself. And then after we were like doing the photos with the photographer, some people walked around the corner and they were like, woo!
Yeah,
but that was like
cute.
After the proposal was done. And then the time that we were done our photos at like 9, the buses had rolled in.
Yes,
and
there's so many people.
There were so many people. There was, I remember, there was a huge, I think, Chinese group. But I just remember because they were all wearing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
They were all like, it would have been like 100 people in the same white and red or
like
white.
tracksuits.
Tracksuits.
Yeah.
It was like, there were like 2 coach buses, 2 or 3 coach buses, and it was so many people in the same tracksuits. They were all part of something.
Yeah.
And they were all around the outside. And
so funny.
yeah, that was it.
You did a great job, honestly.
Oh, thank you.
And then it was so nice because it was at the beginning of our trip. And it felt like a pre-honeymoon kind of.
Yeah, I made sure to do it on the second full day. First full day we we hiked the Hollywood side, and then we came down. We were exhausted. Yeah, absolutely exhausted time we got down to the bottom.
Hot. It was hot.
Yeah, and then we Ubered, and then we went to In-N-Out on the first day, and then the second In-N-Out was first day.
Oh, you're
and then
right.
After the engagement, went to Shake Shack.
Yeah.
What did we do directly after engagement? We drove down to Shake Shack and we got some food. Teresa had the ring on her finger. It was exactly what she wanted.
It's perfect.
And the best thing was like, it was like a public place. It was a well-known place. We got there nice and early, so nobody was there. Nobody was around us during the engagement. But we were in a new place to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. A great day. You did great.
Yeah. If I didn't do that, I did text Taylor and on Instagram to see if I messaged Taylor on Instagram, Mrs. Swift on Instagram, be like, hey, we're coming to your Italy concert. And I'm planning to propose to my girlfriend. Is there anything that you could help out? And I thought maybe somebody from her team would like read it and be like, oh, that'd be great to do at the concert. Let's do that.
Really high hopes there.
And I was like, well, I did that in May. I was like, well, or whenever you bought the tickets, it was like 6 months out from our engagement. I was like, well, she's got until October for me to like cancel my LA plans. I was like, but Teresa had made it known that she wanted to be engaged by the end of 2023. So if I had waited till the next July,
I would have been itching.
She would have been itching of like, why hasn't it happened? Yeah. There was one time though, that when we were in the park.
Yes. Oh my God. I was like,
we were in the park. I was high. I had just smoked.
You were high.
I was so high. And I was just like,
you were just being like super cute. You were like holding me from behind, and you were like, let's watch the soccer game. We were like up on a hill, and it was like kind of private.
It was kind of private. We were in public. We were by ourselves. And I was like, let's set up I had something.
Was it the drone?
Maybe it was something.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I was like, let's get a picture of us just like facing towards our building with our backs.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, once I come up there, she's like, are you going to propose? I was like, what, babe? Look at how we're dressed, where we are. I'm high right now. Like, this is not a proposal time.
Yes. Oh God, I remember that. So good.
Yeah. That was a story.
Yeah.
That was a story.
Great times. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next one. Next Q&A. For the Q&A, what podcast hosting platform do you guys use, and what made you choose that? This one's very easy. I can answer this. I originally started with Buzzsprout for hosting.
Sorry, I before we move on, I want to give a shout out to the photographer.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because she's been great, and she's based in LA.
You need a photographer in LA. I think her name was Alex.
No, Stephanie.
My bad.
Her Instagram is steph.siomara. STEPH.SIOMARA. She was great. And we still keep in contact with her. Like, she replies to all of our stories on Denver and Teresa.
Yeah.
Like, she's so nice. Like,
She was great. She was a great
she was
photographer.
amazing.
Yeah. I would happily book her again. And she even made us like a little reel video too. It was
She
so
was amazing.
cute.
Like,
she
if
had
you're in LA and you need a photographer, I would definitely recommend.
Yeah, and I messaged a few people, and she had fair pricing with a lot of value. So
Yeah. Sorry. I wanted to do that before I forgot again.
No, that's very nice of you. So back in mind for which hosting platform, we started with Buzzsprout because Buzzsprout was the cheapest. You could host for free, and then as you did more episodes, you could then pay for the hosting. So we started there. But then once we picked up a lot of steam, we got brought on by our marketing agency, and then we switched over to what's called Megaphone, which is Spotify's own hosting platform. But then they'll also send it to like Apple Podcasts as well. If I had to start over, like Buzzsprout is a good one. If you're trying to start your own podcast, Buzzsprout is good for cost. Megaphone, I looked up. We don't pay for it because it's part of our package. But if you had to pay for it yourself, I looked it up, and it is
pricey.
Significantly more expensive. But they have access to putting ads directly into your podcast. So if I had to do it over again, I would bite the cost up front of signing up for Megaphone if you truly believe in your podcast. If you're just playing around with it, you're not sure what exactly it'll grow into, Buzzsprout will get you covered. And then once you get the ball rolling, you can always switch over once you have it rolling. So that would be my recommendations.
Yes.
All right, next one. Question. When you go to get massages, do you and Denver have a gender preference? Like Denver gets massaged by men only and Teresa massaged by women only.
So we actually like had a conversation before.
Before we
we were
went.
like, I said, if there's a man and a woman, I want the woman, and Denver gets the man. But it ended up being two men, which was
two
fine.
men. Yeah.
It was fine. Like mine was evidently gay, so I was okay with that.
Yeah.
Because not for anything, like I don't really want like a straight man filling me up.
Same.
Yeah, okay. I know. I just like out of the two of us, I would rather it be you. Sorry.
That's okay. No, I'll totally take that.
Yeah.
If I had if we could both choose, I would also choose a woman to massage me.
Yeah.
Teresa didn't love that, but
No, I don't have a problem with that. I was just saying if it's a man and a woman,
yeah,
then you get them.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But I don't have a problem with you getting felt up by a woman.
Yeah, I just feel like women have a softer touch and they're more nurturing.
Yeah.
I don't know,
No, I
softer
agree.
hands,
I agree.
nicer hands. Like I don't know. Whenever I think of massage, I'm very vulnerable. I just
Exposed.
Yeah, you know. I don't know. Maybe because I only had so much massage experience before, and I guess that person I didn't have a choice. I just signed up for massages, and then she happened to be the massagist, and that's who I had for like masseuse, and that's who I had for like a several months long, like year long masseuse for when I went regularly, and I guess I was used to a woman doing it, so that's my preference.
Yeah.
All right. That's 3. That's good enough. I had one more, but we'll leave that for the next episode. And if you guys have any other Q&A questions, you let us know. Now let's
down below.
Life updates.
Do we have any?
I only have one that I can think of.
Onyx Storm?
Oh, I have 2 now. So I guess we have been reading Onyx Storm.
I have not.
Teresa hasn't started yet. She's trying to finish her book.
I'm still trying to get through the wedding people
I've been listening. I'm 12 episodes in.
chapters.
I'm 12 chapters in. You know, we have to go for a drive. Oh my God, I have the hiccups. I have mad hiccups right now. We have to go for a drive. Do you want to listen to the book on the drive?
No.
Fuck.
I want to read it.
What am I saying? I'm going to listen to the same thing I've already listened to anyway.
Yeah, no, I want to read it. I don't like listening to it. Like I get distracted and I feel like I can't pay attention.
Yeah, you have a hard time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to go back and like
Yeah.
I've been trying to list, but like, yeah, I don't know. I prefer listening. It's hard for me to like sit and just read paper.
I love it.
I have too much ADHD now.
Yeah, that's okay.
Social media has ruined me.
Me too. By the way, if you guys are wondering, my TikTok, what's it called? Obsession or
De-obsession?
not obsession, but
De-obsession. You're de-obsessionizing.
no, but what addiction? Not obsession. Addiction. Is no more. I am not addicted to TikTok anymore. I have never, since January 1st, I have not hit the 1 hour limit. I barely go on it.
Wow.
It's so great.
Wow.
The only thing I don't like is people are like, oh, did you hear this about Taylor Swift? And I'm like, no, I haven't, because I'm not on TikTok anymore. And that makes me sad. So I need to get my updates somewhere else.
I see.
That's the only thing that makes me sad.
That's terrible.
But everything else, it's great.
I love my social media. It gives me all the motocross, supercross, dirt bike updates.
Yeah.
It's great. Sports, social media with sports is like the best thing ever. It gives you behind the scenes of the riders and the pits and the dirt bikes, and I just love it. It just tickles my brain.
Nice.
Although my Instagram Reels, it's interesting the different algorithms that are on each one. The Instagram Reels for our ThreadTalk, I don't even log into my own personal, like the ThreadTalk social media. That's my feed now. I don't bother going to like Denver BMW is dead. My personal one is dead in the water. Everything is ThreadTalk. But the ThreadTalk Instagram Reels have been so hilarious sometimes. Like I'll go on and it's kind of people just getting hurt in a funny way.
You're so weird.
And I'm just dying laughing.
You're such a guy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
such a guy.
My TikTok feed is all like world news and politics and like geopolitics of like what's happening around the world and what governments are collapsing and what Trump did this week and what Elon Musk did this week. But like Instagram is like just laughable content. Like I think the Instagram algorithm sucks so much compared to TikTok that it just keeps giving me that stuff, where TikTok actually learns, like when I watch something slightly more, they just give me more of it, which is kind of frustrating. But yeah. But my update has to do with our house builds.
Oh, yes.
We are making steps in the right way. We have adjusted our house building. We kind of realized that our layout that we had last time was a little bit big, a little bit ambitious, and we've toned it down. It's no longer 5 bedrooms. We're down to 3 bedrooms now. We want to try and keep the cost of building down, so we're bringing the floor plan down. It was 100 by 50 before. We're shrinking that down to 70 by 40 now. And I'm really loving the upstairs master bedroom layout because I moved the bedroom to be in the corner of the building. So now like the bed could have like corner windows beside it, could be huge. The bathroom kind of has this like angled hallway on it, which kind of looks pretty cool. And the walk-in closet is as big as our current apartment is. I made our walk-in closet the size of our office, our living room, going into our kitchen. That whole like area over there, like that's how big our walk-in closet is going to be bigger than our current bedroom. It's going to be bigger than our current living room. And our living room is going to be bigger than our whole apartment combined.
As we've mentioned in the past, it's not because we are rich. We are most definitely not rich.
It's because we're building a barn-dominium, a pole barn structure, so we're able to maximize expenses. This is like the cheapest way to build a house.
And you're doing all the labor.
And I'm be doing all the labor. Yeah, that
labor is like the biggest cost.
That is the biggest cost. So we'll be able to make some adjustments. And then the downstairs layout, like the kitchen is pretty big. The kitchen is like 12 feet wide from cabinetry to cabinetry. So the actual room is like an additional like 4 feet. And then the entrance hallway I have right now, it's at 7 feet wide. 7 foot wide hallway, like shapes in. And yeah. So I'm excited for it.
I'm excited too.
We hired a plan designer. Put the deposit down last night.
First cost.
I was having some difficulty because I was going through and I was just finding like generic like house people. But I've been watching how to build these pole barn-dominiums down in the States. Mostly they're only getting built down in the States. And every place in Canada I looked at, it was basically like a steel building. They wanted to sell me a steel building shell and with no reference on how to put the apartment in on the inside. Or the design home planners, they would just be like, oh, regular home planners, oh, you want to do a pole barn? What is that? But I was able to find one guy, when he called me, the number came from the area of where we plan on building, like the general area. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then he went through and he mentioned the Mr. Pole Barn guy that I've been watching on YouTube of how to build it. He mentioned it and he's like, yeah, we're trying to bring that to Ontario because not many people in Canada build that way, but it makes more sense. It's the cheapest per square foot way to build it. And it works with us because we want to build the exterior of the building, park the RV on the inside while we build out the apartment on the inside or the house. So I was very happy with him and he should be able to help us put like a whole kit together to order the steel, the wood, the windows, the doors, everything like that together. So it was the most like best guy I found for exactly what we are looking for. So I'm very happy to get these design plans started. And then as soon as we transfer the name, as soon as we transfer the land into our name, we should have the permits ready to get our mortgage approved. So hopefully, depending on how long building permits take with the township, like we should be ready to be building in spring.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Really hope so. I'm excited too.
I'm excited.
I do feel better that we downsized a bit, because before it was like, when we were showing our families, they're like, this is freaking huge.
Well, it was like...
It was overkill.
Yeah. Like the building itself, you're looking at 5,000 square feet of the pad, but then portion of it was your garage. But now we've shrunk that down. The garage has stayed pretty much the same size for me, and we just didn't have extra bedrooms, and we still have large open ceiling living room. Like we kept the core concepts that we wanted. We just shrunk the size down.
Yeah.
We'll still have 2 pull-out couches, so this will still be like kind of like 5 beds. So it should be good. I'm excited. But before we upgrade in size to this, we'll have to downsize into an RV from our apartment.
Yep.
And then we're gonna get a new podcast studio.
Yeah, that will be exciting.
I want to have like all shelves behind us.
Okay.
Maybe we could do like a cutesy. Tell you what, you want to do like the kitchen? You want to make that all? What's your vibe that you want for the kitchen?
Like earthy.
Earthy, modern, or so, not modern. I want modern.
I want like earthy colors.
You want earthy.
Like,
you could. Why don't you you can make us a cute TV set for a podcast area.
you want me to do that?
You could.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You want something cutesy.
Yeah, but the kitchen is mine.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Well, I get the floor then.
Okay, sure.
I want to epoxy the floor.
No! Boo! Boo to epoxy. Anyways.
That's all we got. I don't have any other life updates.
Neither do I.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Cause for concern. That was a good episode.
Yeah, it was.
I had fun.
Me too.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
See you on the next one.
Bye.
Buonanotte. This family was a big camping trip that my girlfriend...
What?
What?
You said this family was a big camping trip. Was that not on purpose?
No. Okay. Words are hard, guys. I do accept that I I do accept that I made some... Oh my God.